Let's see. Are we live? I think so.
I guess so.
I always wait until like StreamYard shows me. I probably should have opened this. I think we are good though now. All right, guys. Hello, hello. Anyone watching? FOMO's always here. Does he watch your channel too?
Who's
FOMO
that?
TCG?
Yeah, I've seen that name a million times, either on my channel or other live streams. I don't go live very often, to be honest.
I thought you said you were going to do that more this year though. That's the meta.
That is the meta. I'm trying to go once a week. When I was like really feeling new about it, I think I did like 4 in the same week, but I don't know. I think it's the meta. I think I'm stupid not for doing it more.
You know what I think is going to happen is like, I mean, Alex and Eli do kind of like a live stream, the two of them. I think there's going to be way more kind of like duo streams and like try streams and stuff. I feel like that's coming this year.
That seems to be what it's looking like. I mean, we're already 1/12 through the year, but I think you're right. I think that's the play.
All right, we got a lot of people in here. Let's get this going. Cardboard Wealth, what's up, man? Jollibee. Jollibee's the homie from the Discord. Big One Piece guy too, so I don't think he's going to be super happy with or maybe he'll be happy. Who knows, depending on what you say.
There you go.
Would love to hear Brian's opinion on Destined Rivals right now. That's a we'll get into that. We'll get into that. I'm sure Brian's got some really hot takes about some of these sets. Oscar, what's up, man? Oscar, you got to go to bed, dude. This guy's from Sweden, so it's 4 a.m. 4 a.m. there, man.
That's my kind of hours. That's crazy.
That's mine too now, man. Like, I feel like I go to bed at like 3 a.m., you know, but is what it is. Anyways, I mean, Brian, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
PokeNE, the OP show. Do you want to, I feel like most people here probably know who you are, but do you want to just give a little spiel about who you are, what you do?
I think most people here know who both of us are. It's such a small little like niche of YouTube. It's actually crazy. Like once you go live enough, you realize like there's not that many people here. But yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll do like a 10-second introduction. PokeNE.com, Omaha, Nebraska. We have a basement business here. A couple employees now, including my brother, who I got full time, thank God. And started with Japanese cards, Pokemon, moved on to English. Got a couple distributors. Do a little things. Hate on One Piece apparently is my new thing I do. So here I am. But yeah, I don't know. Having a baby in a few weeks here. So you won't be seeing much of me on YouTube lives for a bit, but I'm excited to be here for this one.
I think the number one question people want to know is when's PokeNE going to start carrying One Piece?
Let's I told Mr. Poke Prophet we'd have some interesting news. That's not it, but it's related. I mean, I'm not against carrying One Piece. If I could carry One Piece, I would have that shit on my shelves because my God, people are going nuts for it. My distros don't have it. If they did, I would sell it. But I've had Japanese One Piece since OP01. And once the English set came out, or once the English set started kind of getting traction, a lot of my sales decreased, which is fine. But I was one of the original One Piece sellers, believe it or not.
Yeah. I'm curious too, because you started with like Japanese Pokemon too, I believe. What percentage of your sales now are like Japanese versus English?
Depends on how you look at it. So if you're looking at quantity of orders, Japanese is probably like 70%. But if you're looking at actual revenue, I think English is quite a bit higher. It's a relatively even-ish split. It depends on the month and what sets are released. Like Ascended Heroes, if there was a proper amount of inventory, it would probably get English like, I mean, at 90% of the revenue this year. But with such a lack of English inventory, Japanese just kind of takes over by default as far as revenue.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I feel like we probably should address this too, because there's going to be someone who comes in here and thinks we're actually beefing. You were actually like one of the first people that really inspired me to start posting as much as I did.
Yeah,
I remember it was like, I think it was December 2024. Surging Sparks came out. Pokemon Pocket was out at the time. This was like right before Prismatic. You put out like a tweet or it was a YouTube post or something where it was like, if you want to take YouTube seriously, be a full-time creator, like you need to be posting every day. So I think like after that, I started posting every day. And at the time, I'm pretty sure I had like 2,500 subs or like 3K or something. So, I mean, dude, all the respect in the world. Definitely no hate.
No, dude, 13,000 is crazy. You grew fast.
I'm hoping for 20 this year, but again, like it's pure vanity. Like there's actually no utility in having more subs, in my opinion. I think like even sponsors nowadays, they just like don't even care. They're like, how many views do you get on a video? How much money do you want? That's kind of it.
I agree. Most sponsors don't really care about subs. To me, subs, it depends how you get them. If you release a couple viral shorts and you're not like Deep Pocket Monster, if he releases shorts, his subs matter because that's his thing. If me or you release shorts that go hyper viral and we get like 100,000 subs, who gives a shit? I'm 100% with you. It's how you get the subs. I mean, if you got, you got 76 people in your live stream, that's way more valuable than like some arbitrary member of subs.
I think one thing I want to ask you too, and kind of get this out of the way in the beginning before I forget. Some of your top videos from last year, were you talking about when the Pokemon market was going to crash or when things were going to change? And you were talking about how people with distribution access, they're ordering a ton of products and maybe they're putting in, requests for like 500 boxes. They know they're only going to get 10 or 20 or whatever. Eventually that would change where if they put in for 500, they'd get 500 and that would lead to kind of like a mass sell-off. Do you still think that's going to happen with the Pokemon market?
Oh, 100%. I think it's getting worse. I think it's like I think the longer we go and the more confidence builds, the more catastrophic it's going to be. It's going to be catastrophic. Like bad, like for the store owners more than anybody. Because that's how I got started. So like for some with a distro, so for some history back in 21, Fusion Strike, Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, believe it or not, new kids in the chat, those were like cheaper on TCG Player than they were at the distro. Like TCG Player price of Fusion was like $85. Distro, they were trying to get rid of it for like 80. And so after fees and stuff, like you were losing money. And the reason why these distros had all this Fusion, Chilling, and Battle is because the vendors, the Pokey Ennies of the time, they got overhyped. They got a little bit too big for their britches. They ordered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these sets. And then when the market was kind of slow, they panicked, canceled all their orders with Distro. Distro, since these vendors ordered a shitload, Distro had all of it. And then the Distro panicked. And that's when they started getting new vendors, me included. So they called me up. They're like, hey, we see you on YouTube. We know you sell stuff. Do you want to work with us? This was one of my 3 major distros. And I'm like, yeah, that's dope. And I think at the time, Brilliant Stars was like the set. And they're like, oh yeah, you can have a case of Brilliant Stars, but you need to buy 10 cases of Fusion Strike. That's how much there was this stuff on the market. And I'm like, why do you have 10 cases of Fusion Strike you're giving me? They're like, well, number one, because you'll be lucky to make $1 on a box. And number two, everything I told you. So that will happen again. I don't know what set it's going to be. I predicted Mega Evolution set 7 is when this would start. I think I'm going to push that back a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be catastrophic and hilarious all at once.
Do you think that's going to have a lot of impact on people just investing too, where like people are going to get burned as well? Do you really believe that like a lot of people have insane credit card debt and they're just running the bills up and that's coming due like sometime this year or next year?
Oh my God. I mean, take Pokemon out of the equation. Chat GPT, average credit card debt per American, it's absolutely horrendous. And then like the degenerates in the Pokemon world. I mean, my first like experience with the Pokemon degeneracy was very early in my career. And it was a buddy and it was a guy in Omaha. And his business plan was he put $10,000 of stuff on his credit cards that he'd get from like conventions and whatnot, send them in for grading. And then his plan was to get them back from grading and sell them on eBay before the credit card was due. And he would actually be paying the minimum balance because it took like a couple months. And he was like, well, the minimum balance only charges me like 26% interest. I think I can make 40. Like this, like these people are real. So yeah, I think it's going to be catastrophic. it's like anything that happens in the economy. The brokies get broker, the richies get richer, and the people in between, they stay perfectly boring. But I don't know.
I think that's why too. I found your video about One Piece so funny when you're talking about kind of how everyone's chasing the hype right now in One Piece. They're leaving Pokemon. Talked about pivoting, PokeTubers leaving like myself. I agree with like 99% of what you said in the video. I think that's going to happen where everyone's just chasing the new thing. It's funny too because in your original video you talked about Dragon Ball as well, about why that couldn't be popping off. I mean, it's now a lot of these boxes are going to the moon in Dragon Ball,
I
which is a
saw
whole
that.
other thing.
Very interesting.
I think you're right. Like, I'm still incredibly bullish on Pokemon. I would like if gun to my head, if I had to choose a game, it would be Pokemon 10 out of 10 times. Like I would never even think about One Piece being like my main investment vehicle, at least not now. So yeah, like I'm super bullish like you. And everything you said, like I agreed with. So that's why I don't understand where kind of a lot of the hate comes from against what you say in that regard.
Yeah, I think people are now that there's like 100 people in here, guys. I freaking love Pokey Profit. I don't know if you guys watch my live streams, but like I shout this dude out almost every piece of media. I guess you have face content now. You did faceless for a hot minute.
Yeah, and you know what? It wasn't about me not wanting to be in front of the camera. The honest truth is I was just too lazy to buy a camera and a mic and set everything up. Like I know I think I was watching a live stream you were on, and maybe it was Kira or someone else basically calling us screen clickers.
Screen clickers, yeah.
And I was just like
a slur.
She's not wrong. Like all I do is just go through, but it's so easy to edit. Like I just screen grab, put it in DaVinci, do a couple audio edits, and it's done. So for me, it was kind of just like the workflow was super easy to get a video out every day. But now, like that, I have everything figured out, and I think, like you said, probably earlier this year or last year, you just gotta be doing live streams and like talking with people. So that's why this year I'm doing it. But yeah, like I don't really take offense to it either because that's what I did for a long time.
See, I described the screen clicker vibe as kind of a badge of honor because it shows people that they don't need a fancy camera or a camera at all. Actually, it kind of takes away excuses from people who are like, I don't have a camera, I'm ugly, I'm shy, blah blah blah. And I'm like, guys, you look at a non-TC. I always pointed out a non-TCG and Pokey Profit, and then I'd throw Vapor Self in there too. Like those three, I'm like, these three people are uploading almost every day, if not every day. They don't have a camera or they're shy or whatever, and they're making moves. Like they got motion. So like, what's your excuse? So that I mean, it's perfect. But yeah, I think live stream's definitely a good move.
It's funny you bring up Vapor Self too, because I don't think I've ever said this. Maybe a couple people have asked me. I started my channel because of Vapor Self. I was in Colombia visiting my wife. At the time, she was my girlfriend. And I was there for like 3 months making like travel content, political content still. And I just thought, like, if this guy has like 2K subs at the time and he's getting, 1,000 views a video or whatever it was, which at the time I thought was crazy. I was like, I could do this too. My computer can record. I had like a DJI mic, which I use this up to like January of this. I still use it sometimes, honestly, if I'm too lazy to set everything up. And that's what I did. So it's like starting to make content. Anyone who's actually thinking about it, you may as well just jump in and do it.
That's what I've always been saying. You've been one of the poster child of easy like easy production content. You just have to have value.
Easy is an understatement, man.
It's like, I mean, my production's not much better. I mean, I show my face, but like my editing consists of splicing out sneezes and coughs. Like, big deal. Like, come on.
Yeah. I don't even do that anymore. I just throw a noise gate on and hope it sounds good enough. But
I like that.
We'll get through a couple comments here. By the way, guys, if you're watching, 110 people in here. If you have a question for Brian, leave a comment, put question in all caps. It'll make it very easy to find. Marco's in here. What's good? Jonathan's in here as well. Army, what's up, man? Good day from Australia. Nice. What part of Australia are you from, Jay? Curious. I actually have a lot of people that watch me from Australia. I don't know if it's the same for you, but
yeah,
the
amount of overseas viewers I have is crazy.
We got JB TCG in the house. What's up, man?
So,
by the way, JB, because we were talking about exercising before this, probably the most jacked PokeTuber, I would say, or at least the strongest. You guys should go watch his shorts about lifting the weight of Pokemon. Crazy, crazy strong. Pokey Bram's in here. What's good? Hey, man. Hung Don is in here as well. Very goated name. Nightworker. Yeah, Oscar, you stay up all night. I think you have an issue. You're trying to gaslight yourself into convincing yourself it's good, but nah, man, you should go to bed. Zuko's in here. Pokey Pivot versus the hot tub cigar guy. Is there something behind this?
I actually love this comment. Yeah, you know, like Vice, like the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
They do like all sorts of funky videos. So I was on there in 21, and at the end they wanted me to like, I was like a mafia guy because I'm Italian. I'm like 3% Italian, but they're like, oh yeah, we brought cigars. You're gonna sit in the hot tub with a cigar and like flash like booster packs. I'm like, that's cringes. I don't even know how to hold a cigar, so I've never smoked in my life. So like they literally moved my fingers and like put it there. So if you watch the Vice show, you'll see at the end where like, I don't know.
There you go.
It's become a meme.
One Piece versus Pokemon. Nah, man. TCGs versus other TCGs, it's all the same thing. The goal is to make money. I don't know if Brian agrees with that, but like,
oh yeah,
I don't give a fuck what game I'm in. Okay, I just care about if the graph's going up. So
that's right.
I feel like people get too tribal on the internet. It's very weird.
That's the best way to describe the internet. Tribal society, really, if we're being honest.
I think when you put out dude, and you know what you're doing too, man. I remember when Ice was making the content with Pokemon in it, and I remember watching the short you made where you called Ash like an illegal immigrant. And I was okay, this guy. I didn't even want to open the comments. I knew it was just gonna be crazy in there.
I know exactly how to get under people's skin, man. I'm not Team Rocket Joey level, but like I'll go there.
Don't you dare talk about One Piece lol. How about this terrible DR drop on Walmart now? Yeah, I mean, I guess we should talk about DR because someone like right at the beginning wanted your input. You have any thoughts on DR?
I think investing in Destined Rivals right now is as stupid as dropping all your stuff and throwing it in One Piece. I mean, like, my God, $600 for a booster box and people think that's a good idea. Like, I mean, I would be selling the shit out. If I had Destined Rivals right now, I'd be selling the shit out of it because, my God, guys, like, I mean, how do you think this is going to end? It's like, it came out, what, like 8 months ago, if that? 9 months ago? I don't know. I think I was hoping someone would ask me about DR because, like, those booster boxes are absurd. The bundles are still, like, $55. Like, the packs aren't worth jack shit. The booster box is, to me, it should be, like, under 400, like 350 would make sense to me. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're reprinting booster boxes nearly as much as they used to. Like, that's definitely facts. I've gotten a ton of Destined Rivals reprints offers, you know, buy this much stuff you can get, but none of it was booster boxes. So, like, I don't think people are off saying that booster box reprints are certainly slowed down. But, like, dog, $60 for it. I mean, I hate it on One Piece for people jumping ship and going there, but I think I'd jump ship to most One Piece products before I'd spend $600 on a booster box of Destined Rivals. I think it's absurd.
The thing that I don't understand too is like when I was going really heavy in prismatic, like I bought every restock last year. I bought more prismatic, and I would put out a video, and people would be like, "You're buying way too early, like opportunity costs." And I think when you look at the ETBs, they're maybe like 2x MSRP, 2.2x maybe. I mean, DR booster boxes are over 3x at this point, 3.5x.
Think of it, yeah.
And people are just going, "Fuck yeah, dude! Like I'll load up Destined Rivals. It's going to like 1,000 this year." I mean, the box isn't even a year old, but it's just so weird to see the difference between like two sets. And in my opinion, I think Prismatic's way better than Destin. Like maybe that's a hot take, but I don't know. People hype up Destin. I just don't see it.
Yeah, Destined Rivals has the same hype as the subject is One Piece, so I'm gonna keep throwing the keyword out there to piss people off. I think most Destined Rivals people like Destined Rivals because they're supposed to like Destined Rivals. Kira, I'm sure Kira's here somewhere. She made a really good video about DR. Like, you guys should all go to Kira's channel after this and watch it because she nails it. She's like, nothing in Destined Rivals is that great. The best card is like a Mewtwo that's very mid. And it's like she was comparing it to Evolving Skies because that's what everyone does. She's like, you look at the top 5 from Evolving Skies. I mean, the Umbreon's what, like $2,000 or some crazy shit. The other ones are several hundred. She's like, the best card in DR is this Mewtwo, which is not nearly that same price or coolness. And she's like, it's just herd mentality. It's like, I don't know if y'all remember YouTube, like 3 months before Destined Rivals came out, but people hated on that shit because of how disappointing it was. Like, I distinctly remember a lot of people, including DR simps, who were pissed off that it didn't have Team Rocket actually in there. It didn't have the word Rocket in it. It didn't have an R. Like, people hated Destined Rivals for a good 3 weeks. And now people like it because everyone likes it. I think it's hilarious. I can't wait to see everything burn.
I think too is like, it's the best booster box we got in the SV era. So if someone really wants to get in, it's like, where else do you kind of turn? Like Surging Sparks or, you know, a specialty set in SV. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, like, it's just too overhyped. I would never buy a DR booster box at even probably 400 right now. Just doesn't feel great, but we'll see.
It feels very odd. And like the people that are like, I don't know, like the people buying Destined Rivals booster boxes, I don't think are opening them. I think they're, I mean, I hope not, because there's way cheaper ways to get packs. But when you're talking about something that like you're buying, planning to keep sealed forever, and you're paying triple MSRP for it, justifying it with the hits in the box, it's like the hits in DR aren't much better than the hits in half of the other sets. I don't know. I think even calling it the best SV set's not accurate. To credit Kira again, she's like, Paldean Fates is way better, and no one talked about that set.
I would say best booster box, not the best set in the S-Sphere. I can get on board with that. Like, I think Paldean Fates is better, Prismatic, but even 151 you can make an argument for. The other thing too is like, you know, you're a store owner, 7 figures, maybe it's 8 figures now, whatever. You're crushing it. Dan from Catch 'em All Collectibles, same thing. Like, he's not bullish on Destin right now. It's very hard to find someone who's been in this a very long time, and they're actually saying the opposite of what most people believe, right? So it's like, maybe there's some truth to it just not being as great as a lot of the new people think it is. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's a good point. Yeah, the only people really loving Destined Rivals are people in the comment section, and then like honestly people that have troll content like TRJ. Like, I don't think his audience even knows what his content's about, which is actually hilarious to me. Like, I get
honest,
him more
dude,
than
I don't even
audience.
think he knows. I don't even think he knows half the time.
I think you're right.
Mastermind of it.
Yeah, I think he kind of just picks and chooses depending on what is best for him that week. Which, like, hey, no, don't hate the player, hate the game. But he's the only one I see really like going hard with it, and I'm just like, all right, good luck, everybody.
We'll see. Mystery Collections in here as well. Nice to get to know this channel. Thank you for stopping by. Pokey Profit, do you do the same thing as Pokey and E? I don't. So Brian owns a store. He's got distro. I mean, doesn't have distro for Japanese, do you? But you still buy a ton from your suppliers or whatever. I don't have a store. I just buy the products. I sit on it and I make YouTube content. I'm a screen clicker, whatever they want to call us. So yeah, that's what I do.
Do you got plans to go full time on YouTube?
I am full time now, man.
You're full time.
And
a
lot of it's just because like I built up the other kind of streams of what I do. So I've been able to, like, I think YouTube now, trying to think in terms of ad revenue, it's probably like 30%, 35% of what I bring in. And a lot of that does come from like the One Piece channel, which is popping off.
Yeah.
The Pokemon ones, maybe only like a quarter of that essentially at this point. in terms of the ad revenue. But
it's hilarious. Good for you, dude. That's awesome. I love all the people that went full time doing Pokemon, me included. It's so fun.
I'll say too, like, I never wanted to open a store just because, dude, I still don't know where I want to live. But my wife being from Colombia, like, we could go back there anytime. And I'm at the point where I think, like, within a good 2 or 3 years, I would have the net worth where I could just go buy 2 apartments there, live off like 20K a year like a king, and you'd just never see me again. So that's kind of like the goal, is just
That's awesome.
getting to a level where I don't have to work if I don't want to. And I mean, if I want to stay in Canada, the number is way different. It's so expensive here, but it's that's kind of why I didn't want to make a store, because you're forced to stay in a location. Whereas for me, what I do now, I could just go anywhere in the world.
Yeah, the freedom would be nice. You know, we got a house and dogs, and she's got a full-time career, so it's like I don't have that freedom, but I kind of envy it. Like, that sounds great.
Do you think that, I mean, I know you said you have your brother on full time now. Do you think you're going to get to a point where you're completely hands off, like you just let him or someone else take over?
I'm kind of there now, honestly. Like, there's stuff that he'll never be able to do, like he wouldn't want to do, like managing the money, actually talking to the suppliers, and yeah, you know, he doesn't want to mess with my money. I don't want him on my account or nothing. Like, that's a lot of responsibility. But as far as like, you know, getting the pallets brought inside, getting the Uline boxes, packing, doing orders, emailing people when their address is wrong, uh, unboxing stuff, checking stuff in, doing inventory. Like, he does almost everything. So, I mean, I basically just make content. That's why I've been doing so much content and trolling people lately, because I'm bored and I have nothing better to do. It's great.
You got to start another channel, man. OPNE. It's got a good ring to it.
That does kind of slide off the tongue well. OPNE. That'd be hilarious.
Aerochamp 2 says, congrats on the newborn.
Oh, thank you. Got a few weeks until then, but I appreciate it, dude. For real.
Perfection in here as well. I swear there's just less Pokemon being printed now. Restock today was mostly just Yu-Gi-Oh! And One Piece. Do you feel like that's the case?
Nah, I don't see any reason they'd slow down. I just think there's a lot more people, and it's spread a lot more thin. I mean, the distros taking on just about anybody who asks to be a vendor. It's like things just get spread thin.
I have a question too to ask you, and
yeah,
feel free not to answer this, because I don't know if this is something you can even talk about. I've in private talked to people in like Slovenia and Singapore and other parts of the world where they say that a lot of stuff's being backdoored by distro.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's happening at all in the States?
I gotta make sure there's no guns to my head. Yeah. It certainly wouldn't surprise me in certain distros. It depends on how the distro works, because they all have different payment structures. So like one of them, everyone gets like an account manager that gets basically a percentage of what I order. So like my account manager gets a cut every time I order something. And so I think in situations like that, and these are like the big distros that everyone's already heard of, I would find that hard to believe, because the managers, I mean, like they're employees of a place. Like, they need a salary, they have a living to make. Like, I can't imagine a world where the CEO is like, hey, account managers, you're going to keep your job here, but we're going to backdoor a bunch of shit and you're not going to get commission on it now. I can't imagine how that'd be a sustainable business model, because that's the thing. It's like people don't see the long-term play here. Yes, we're in a bull market. Yes, the distro can make a shitload of money offloading stuff, but ultimately in a year, 2, and at most 3, we're going to be back in the bear market. And I can't imagine that these sales managers are going to be around then if they're getting like if they're getting cut now. You know what I mean? Like, my manager, because at some point it's going to end, and then the backdooring would end. And then what? My manager's going to be like, oh, okay, boss, like we're back now, ready to make commission. It just wouldn't work. It's not sustainable. But the smaller distros, which I'm not going to name, I mean, yes, I have no doubt in the world that that's what's going on. and it shouldn't be too surprising to people. I think a lot of it is getting backdoored, and it always has. I think every time there's a bull market, that's what happens.
Gotcha. Okay. Coming back to this kind of topic here too about less being printed, do you have an estimate that you want to throw out about how many cards Pokemon printed in 2025?
Oh yeah. When will we find out? When do the numbers get released?
I'm not sure. I think Dan said like June or something, middle of the year. Don't quote me on
Okay.
that if Dan's watching, but I think it's coming middle of the year sometime.
So I think last year it was 12 billion. I'm gonna say like my gut's telling me 16 billion in 25. Be interested to see. Clip that, chat.
It's a big number. There we go.
That's a big
Yeah,
number.
I kind of agree. Like it just seems like there's so many people in Pokemon now that it seems like there's less of it out there, but I don't know. Just too many people competing for kind of a small slice of the pie.
Yeah.
Or it just doesn't hit shelves. Yeah. Again, a lot of it probably doesn't. This is what we love to hear. Congrats on the baby brother.
Thank you.
Oh, because he's full time. Got it. Little smooth brain action for me there. Pokey, I need the goat. There you go.
What's up, dude? Thank you, Becky.
You got some fans in here. That's interesting. I thought you were coming into hot water, but no, it's going well. I remember Brian saying that Japanese sellers buy cards from the third-party sellers in Japan. But what does that actually mean? Do they buy from people that own LGSs, scalpers, etc.? Thanks.
Yeah, so the Japanese distro system, from what I understand, works a lot different than it does here in the States. There's certainly no Pokeanis in Japan. Like, there's no online businesses getting this stuff. A lot of the Japanese distros, to my knowledge, only work with like very established companies, like the Forge and Fires of Japan or of America would they'd work with them. All the 7-Elevens, they're a lot more choosy. Like you can't just be like, I'm a YouTuber, I'm gonna call up Southern Hobby Japan and get it. Like that's not a thing there. So yeah, after a release, a lot of times the LGS locations and then random people they go in and they supply like my vendors with inventory. So basically, the same way we do it here, cards get traded, secondhand, third parties, and the benefit of buying from me is everything you guys would get is guaranteed to be legitimate, not weighed, not tampered with. And then my supplier, she charges me a lot more than other vendors would because it's also on her back. So it's a game of trust. There's no direct distro to American or even distro to vendor in Japan where it all gets here. It's very high trust, and that's why you'll pay a lot more from me and Safari Zone and Sakura's Card Shop and blah blah blah. It just costs more for guarantees.
Have you ever, because I know you talk about like sending money, I think through Wise, right? And Wise is non-refundable. Have you ever had a bad experience buying off someone in Japan?
I want to lie for the sake of people's safety, but like no. I've never sent money and not got product. The one time I did send money and got fake product, the vendor, this was a Korean guy, he DM'd me while the stuff was on its way and said, "Hey, I sent you a bunch of fake cards. Long story short, my bad. I'm gonna refund you. You can just keep the fakes and throw them away or whatever." I was like that. I've never been ripped off. It's crazy. I want to lie and tell people I have because it gives people a false confidence. Like, be very careful out there, ladies and gentlemen, because you could get ripped off.
Yeah, I think YouTube, that's where nuance goes to die. So even though you've had really good experiences, doesn't necessarily mean everyone else is going to have the same experiences. How long did it take you to find your suppliers? Like when you were messaging a ton of people, were you just like mid conversation and going, this person seems full of shit, like I'm not going to deal with them?
I was very choosy with who I messaged, so there was never a time where I was like, this guy's full of shit. If I reached out to him, like if I reached out to you, I knew you were probably legit. It was like finding someone that had prices that could work with my margins. That took a bit. But my first distro I found, I basically stole him from eBay. I did some like really sketchy eBay stuff that would get me kicked off the platform. And so I knew he was legit. And then the other folks I found, their prices worked. I found my best supplier after probably like 20 solid hours of research, and it seems like a long time when you're DMing people for 20 hours, but when you think about it, it's like, bro, 20 hours isn't nothing. Like I built a $15 million revenue business because of 20 hours of Instagram DMing. It's like anyone can do this shit, truly.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Brian lights the fire under our butts to make content. 100%, man. 100%.
I hope so. Shout out Pokebram.
You were the first person on YouTube that really said, at least that I can remember, that said, like, if you want to make money in Pokemon, it's probably going to be in content instead of just like starting a store or something. Do you still feel like that's the case?
I feel like now more than ever that's the case. I think we're in a period right now where making money selling cards is so much harder than making money talking about content. Like, I guarantee you, Kira and Team Rocket Joey and Opossum Bud, I guarantee you those three make way more money than 90% of the people that have a Pokemon card business. You too, I suppose. Yeah, like you and those three. Like, I pointed out those three in particular because they're very much, at least Kira and Opossum Bud are very much like anti-capitalists when it comes to the scalping nature of things. And it's ironic because like those folks probably make more than any scalper they make fun of. Which is good for them. Like, no hate. Like that's I think that's what people should aspire to be.
JB was in here too. Damn, I've got to get on the grind. You've been churning high quality stuff so consistently, man. I think he's talking to you because I don't put out high quality stuff. I just click screens, but
I've increased the quality slightly. I appreciate that. Having Justin as my cameraman, my little bro, we've been able to have some more interesting content. So thank you. Shout out.
You have a legit camera too. The setup's good.
It's okay. I mean, like, this is the camera I use for like the computer. It's just a DSLR. But all the vlogs that I've been doing lately, literally just an iPhone. Like whatever the nicest, newest iPhone is, that's literally all we do.
There you go. You don't need anything to start. Nothing major.
No, nothing fancy.
Doan says OP13 or Destined Rivals. If you had to pick one.
Let me see what is OP13.
They're basically same price right now, I think.
Oh,
maybe Destined's a bit cheaper.
So OP13 on TCG Player is $690. That's crazy. $690 for this. I mean, it depends on your terms. If you were to buy these and you weren't allowed to sell them for 5 years, I think Destined Rivals. If you were to buy these and you were allowed to sell them whenever you wanted, I don't know. I mean, they both seem like they could be people who didn't respect my views on One Piece investing. They don't understand what investing is. They're like, oh, I made a shitload of money doing this. I'm like, well, yeah, you sold it to a bunch of gamblers. Like, of course you made money. Destined Rivals people are the same way. It's like, yeah, you bought it at 400 on a Monday and it went to 500 on a Wednesday. Like, that's not investing. That's day trading, basically. So what could be day traded better? I mean, probably One Piece. I don't know. I think One Piece has more like short-term flippability than Destined Rivals. I don't know. I guess I'd try the One Piece one for short-term. Destined Rival, they're all gonna crash compared to where they are now, but like in 5 years, DR all the way.
I think this is probably a good time too. We're pretty close to peak viewers, I would imagine. And speaking about One Piece a little bit, you got some news that you said you wanted to drop on us.
I have some very big news on One Piece that I think is going to cause quite a bit of a tizzy, and I think it's going to actually have a huge influence on the market. So, and it might be old news. Like, I'm going to feel really lame if this is old news. But do you want to guess what it is?
I have no clue where you're going with this. We were talking about this a little bit beforehand. You didn't tell me.
Yeah, so I can't go into too much detail, but right now, who has distro rights to One Piece? It's Alliance or whoever bought Alliance.
I think it's Alliance, yeah.
Yeah, or someone bought Alliance.
Universal or Alliance, yeah. There's a big one in the States.
So the big thing with One Piece was it was, just that one distro, and they're very hard to work with. and that was kind of a lot of people's thing with like, oh, only one distro has it. Well, I just got news that another very, very, very large distro is going to start supplying One Piece cards, and I think it's going to have a very, very interesting influence on the market because it shows me that, oh shit, they're going to start printing more. Uh, I think it's huge. I think there's going to be a lot of new One Piece on the market. I mean, a whole new distro, a very, very large one, is going to start supplying vendors with this shit. It basically double.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I didn't know that, but I think everyone kind of expected that to happen eventually if the game was
Yeah.
going to grow. Like and I've made videos talking about some sets before, like EBO1, I mean OPO3. You can look on eBay worldwide. You can look in Facebook groups, TCG Player. There might be like 2 or 3 cases on the market, like worldwide at times. So like obviously if the game was going to grow, they need to print more. And I think that's the thing where a lot of people, myself included, the older stuff in One Piece, I think is fairly safe at this point. I've talked to people too, and it just kind of seems that Bandai doesn't want to go back and print the older stuff. But I do think it's kind of the same way you talk about how the Pokemon market's going to eventually crash because everyone's kind of, ordering or trying to order way too much. Eventually there'll be a massive supply dump that'll bring prices down. I think it's going to be the same thing in One Piece. It's going to be one of these sets in the future, and maybe it'll be OP21 or OP24 or whatever, but it will come where supply just ramps up massive, and we're going to see probably a lot of people get flushed out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's going to be, and like people like it might seem underwhelming to some like uneducated people here, but I think we need to like really put our big boy shoes on and look at the situation. If Pokey Profit made a thumbnail that said, "Oh, new reprint confirmed," y'all would go crazy. And it's like a reprint. It's like, okay, yeah, well, shit, they're printing more cards. Of course they are. But not enough people realize that a new distro. I mean, it's like that's a lot bigger news than a reprint. YouTube goes crazy for the word reprint, but a new distro is big news. I see some people like, oh, that's it. It's like, y'all don't know what's coming. I agree. I don't think they're going to reprint the older stuff. But when OP 16, 17, 18 come out and they're like MSRP or lower, probably lower, that's going to fizzle out a lot of like no one's going to be bullish on OP 13 being $750 when they could get OP 20 for 90. It's going to change things.
We'll see though, man. Like, do you, I guess now I'm thinking about, there's probably questions I don't want to ask you just because I don't want to get you in trouble.
You can ask me whatever you want. I'll tell you if it's going to get me in trouble.
I mean, is it a distro that you're with?
No, but it's a very large one.
And is it distro only in North America?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Probably.
For sure?
I'd say probably.
I mean, that will definitely play a huge role. 100%. The question becomes, and this is maybe why, like, and I don't mean to downplay this, right? This is just like me being in One Piece. Up to this point, Bandai basically says, all right, we're going to give you a new set. We're going to do a reprint maybe 6 months after the set releases. If it's a mainline like OP01, OP13, whatever. After that, it's like, forget it. We're not touching it again. I'm curious to know if they open a new, or if they're doing, a new distro or whatever, if they'll go back and reprint older stuff. Because I've been saying for a while, I feel like that's coming. But if they don't touch these older sets, they're still going to be incredibly valuable. Like there are so many chase cards in some of these sets, and there's just not as many boxes as people think are actually out there. So I think to your point, it really is going to depend on what they do.
Yeah, I mean, they have the right to do whatever they want as far as reprints for sure. And I don't know enough about it to be like, oh, they're definitely not, or they definitely are reprinting old sets. But I think a lot there's the real fans. Like you've had your One Piece channel for a hot minute, and there's been a lot of people who've been collecting for a hot minute. But I think for a lot of folks, especially in the YouTube world, they're looking at One Piece as like this golden goose, and based on this news and the news that there'll probably be other distros, it's going to become just another TCG, which it depends on the market. But like right now, it's having one or two distros right now. It's like pretty hard to get. But if they're opening a third one, a very, very big one, you can at least assume they're going to be printing double. Like imagine you're the current distro alliance or whatever it is, and you're getting, I don't know, 200,000 boxes. It's like they're not gonna just like cut that in half and give it to this other one. Like there's gonna be double that.
Did they?
And are we ready for double? Are we ready for double? I don't know.
That's a great question too. I mean,
that's a lot bigger than a reprint.
Yeah, 100%. Did they? And again, like, don't answer anything you can't. Did they say when people would start being able to actually order from this distro for the One Piece product?
No, but it sounds like it's happening soon.
Okay.
Like I would guess by when's the next One Piece set come out?
15. Well, EBO 3 comes out end of February, and then OP 15's probably a couple months after that. I don't even know right now.
I would say, but based on the tone, I would say that'll be probably the first one that goes to like multiple distros.
Interesting. Very interesting, man.
Yeah,
people don't know. We'll call it a bombshell. We'll call it a bombshell. That's big.
It's a bombshell. People don't see it as that, but I mean, shit, you get more of a response saying that Destined Rivals reprint's coming. It's hilarious. But it's hilarious, man. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
We got DJ in here too. 22.
What's up? Always good to see DJ's Poke Center.
DJ brings the vibes, man, for sure.
For
sure. When is release date for the kiddo?
Early March, week 1 of March. Not sure. March 10th's the due date, but we might get an early one. We'll see.
Do you think that catastrophic failure will be mainly for new sets of everything, or everything, including Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet?
I think it'll probably be new sets. But like I said with One Piece, it's like when you've got a massive supply of the newest set, in my opinion, it's going to affect the confidence of previous sets. It's not rational. Like if ME7 prints to Oblivion, and ME1 we know for a fact isn't gonna get a reprint. It's like I still think there'd be an effect in some capacity. Like if I had like $200,000 of ME1 through 3, and then ME7 crashed the entire market, like I'd probably be more nervous. But no, I think the new sets more than anything will be catastrophic.
I don't know if they're referring to Pokemon and One Piece, but yeah, like, I'm sure you've made a video talking about the new facility that they're making, or building rather, for Pokemon.
I don't know if I actually made a video about it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, do you think it's going to be a huge deal? I feel like the only person who did a really good job contextualizing what was going on was Dan, because he actually looked up like how much space Millennium actually uses already, because people would just throw out the million square foot or whatever. So I was like, man, that adds no context, but it does kind of seem like it's going to be a significant amount of space that they're adding.
Yeah, percentage wise, I think so. We'll never know what percentage of that is for Pokemon and not for all the other stuff they print. And it's like the amount of people are going to probably continue increasing over time, but I think it'll definitely help fix things. Like I can't imagine 2028 we're going to be seeing $250 booster boxes. I think we'll be long over that. But yeah, Dan did a good job with that.
Yeah, he puts out bangers, man. Like it's criminal that I have more subs than someone like Dan. That's just like
honestly insane
in my mind.
That dude is underrated, and that Dan's lack of subs is the most like poetic representation of the lack of knowledge that people actually want to consume on PokeTube. Like people look at flashy channels like my drama content and they think they're learning about like Destined Rivals, and I'm like, bro, if you just watch someone boring like Dan, and I say that with endearing love, you'd learn so much more about what you pretend you want to learn. Go watch Dan, please. Catch 'em all collectibles.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you could throw in like even Anon, I think you could throw in there. It's funny too, because like a lot of the people I've worked with over the past year who are getting pretty heavy into TCGs, they say they watch my channel, but almost everyone brings up Anon as well, which is hilarious because like the guy's clearing his throat every 5 seconds in a video. But I actually really like Anon stuff too. Like I've been a fan since the beginning, basically. I mean, there's been a few things I've criticized, but yeah, it's like there's some really good content out there, but they're not YouTubers, right? They're just people kind of making YouTube videos. And I think that's kind of the distinction.
Good way to put it for sure. I watch all this stuff.
Can we help usher those OP chasers out the Pokemon hobby sooner? Are you talking about people that are in One Piece right now, kind of chasing the hype? I'm kind of confused about this comment.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm just reading this bad, but dude, I don't really mind. Like, I think you were on a live with Alex, and maybe someone else was there. And I remember you were talking about like how my One Piece channel had blown up. It was a completely different audience for a very long period of time. And then I think it was like November, December, I started seeing a lot of overlap between people commenting on both channels. So there's definitely some people chasing the hype at this point.
Oh yeah, it's a very large amount of people. The amount of emails I've been getting about selling their Pokemon collection has been astounding lately. And I'm not saying they're all going to One Piece, but I do find the timing interesting, being I've been in business for 5 years and I've not gotten nearly this many. It's very interesting timing. They're going somewhere.
Do you think part of it too is kind of just like what we talked about in terms of like debt in America and people just needing to pay bills?
Honestly, no, I don't. I don't think people are selling their collections to pay bills because like they've already effed themselves and they clearly don't care about their credit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think all of a sudden the collective consciousness of America is like, oh shit, I owe a lot on my credit card. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've been like it's something else. And I think I think it's One Piece, silver, some crypto of some sort. Like people don't just all of a sudden become responsible. Like if there's a big movement, they're going somewhere with their money. That's what runs the economy, you know. It's ain't nobody saving their money all of a sudden.
Gotcha. I was gonna ask too, like, did you come from a family where you were really financially not well off, but educated, I guess, per se? Like you knew going into debt was a bad thing, or has it kind of just been something you've learned? Because I know a lot of people, even in Canada, complain that we don't learn that in the school system. You're kind of just thrown to the wolves, and it's like good luck. If you had good parents, you kind of pass, but if you don't, you're kind of screwed, right?
I could go on a whole rant about the school system, and it would be very surprising to people how I feel about that argument. Um, I call bullshit on people that like blame the school system. They're like, "Oh, I never learned taxes at school." It's like, would you have fucking listened? I mean, like they act like, "Oh, my seventh grade teacher didn't teach me how to do taxes. That's why I suck." I'm like, you suck because you never pursued it in your adulthood. Like you, I mean, how much? Like, what do you remember from school? Like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Like, yes, admittedly, that's pointless knowledge, but like you did learn some important things, and you absolutely weren't listening, or you know what I mean? Like people are like, "Oh, I'm poor because my teachers didn't teach me how to do taxes." It's like, come on. It's like my grandma, like she's like 60. She's like, "Well, I didn't grow up with this technology." I'm like, "Yeah, neither did I." Like we had cable when I was a kid too. We didn't have the internet. They're like, "Oh, well, you're younger." I'm like, take some you like responsibility. The school thing drives me crazy.
I can agree with that, but at the same time, I think when you look at a lot of Asian cultures and even like some of the Nordic countries where they have different curriculums, like obviously it plays some role, some level in kind of how there is different levels of competence. And maybe a lot of it too is just like social and cultural
I
and
think it's
about how like,
culture.
yeah, like it, the problem is it becomes so mixed, and there's no way to actually tell like what's playing what percentage of role in certain outcomes. But dude, I do think there are things that could definitely be changed, but I don't really know where I want to go with this. I agree. Like people do need to just take more action in life if they want to get somewhere. I think like even what you said about your own business, you built a $15 million business just by DMing people for 20 hours. So it's like if you want to learn something, you can do it, but at the same time, like both things can be true in my eyes. But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of parallels you can draw between like health and fitness too. It's like people are like, "Oh, I'm fat because I didn't learn how to. No one taught me in school how to be like fit." And I'm like, "Bro, you know how to get fit. Eat slightly better, do more push-ups." Like if you just like like people know how to do things and they don't do them. So it's like in business, I think it's a really weird excuse. But to answer your original question, like I I grew up in what I'd consider a very average. I mean, my dad was a cop, my mom's a preschool teacher. I was very comfortable. I mean, I was fine. Like, but they're not finance. Like my mom and dad, like they're not like financy people. Like they're definitely not businessy people. They're just. I was raised comfortably.
Gotcha. But you learned a lot as you were building the business up.
I just learned by myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
you watch YouTube. I mean, like, why blame your seventh grade teacher when you could literally turn on YouTube and have like we have so much access. I think that's what pisses me off. They're like, I didn't learn how to do taxes 13 years ago. It's like, yeah. I mean, shit. I'm 32 years old. If I blamed my teachers for not teaching me taxes, I'm like, shit. What was I doing the past 10 years when I had Gary Vaynerchuk and Alex Hormozy on YouTube I could watch for free? Like, turn on YouTube. I mean, Jesus, these people are hilarious. People hate accountability.
Do you think, because you did say like a lot of it could potentially be cultural.
Oh
When
yeah.
you look at like the states just in general and culture in the US, do you feel like there's some really large limiting beliefs that most people have in the states that maybe other parts of the world people don't have those same beliefs?
I just think we're so damn competitive here. Like we're, and I think that is a cultural thing. Like we need. I know so many people where like they need to like they buy a nice new camper or like a truck, and then all the people in their sphere are like, oh, I'm gonna buy a better one, and they don't got jack shit for money, so they put it on credit, they take a loan, and it's like all of these. It's the keeping up with the Joneses. Like I don't think there's a Japanese translation for keeping up with the Joneses. I think that's a strictly American thing. And I think that's the biggest limiting belief we have is like I need to be better than this other guy. And and that's what gets people broke. I don't think people are poor because okay, that's not true. I don't think people who are in a comfortable situation with good health go broke because they take risks or whatever for their own good. I think they go broke because they're trying to like upstage someone else. There
Lifestyle
are people
creep.
Yeah, like there are people who are absolutely in situations where I would never have the audacity to judge them for sure. When I'm talking about this subject, I'm looking at the average person who had like a good, healthy upbringing. And yeah, the lifestyle creep gets to, I mean, there's people in my position who they were doing as good as me. They had a good business doing seven figures. I've seen people buy Rolexes, go to these crazy dinners and like go, fly private, do first class. It's like, yeah, I could do all that too, but like, who are you trying to impress? Because then a bear market comes and you're screwed.
Yeah.
Like that's the culture. We're all so like we just want to impress everybody. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. 100% agree. How are we doing on time, by the way? We're about an
Oh, I
hour
don't
into this.
care. We can talk as long as you want. I don't care. I love YouTube.
Screen clickers is hilarious.
That is funny.
I'm gonna make a channel, call it Screen Clicker TCG or something.
That would be a really good channel.
Sorry, typo, meant Dragon Ball, not Pokemon. Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Ball's popping off. I don't think it's gonna do that great though. I think even looking at, and I've always said this, like people can go back and watch my oldest videos. I always said One Piece was never gonna overtake Pokemon, and it never had to, right? It just needed to find like its own kind of niche in terms of popularity. One Piece is still, there's a lot less demand for opening the packs in One Piece compared to Pokemon. Like the largest streamers on YouTube, Wenzel TCG, I know there's some on Whatnot as well. I mean, Alex, like he was doing Destined Rivals. He had like 400, 500 viewers. EBO3 doesn't come out for like 3 weeks. There are a couple people on Whatnot opening boxes, and they're only getting like 200 viewers, maybe 250, which is, in One Piece, that's huge. Like that's a big deal, but still, like there's no level. And then I feel like Dragon Ball is just a floor or two below that. You know, it's not something I would invest in.
So let's talk about Dragon Ball for like 1 second, because one of the criticisms I have for like the One Piece investor army, and this is kind of a meme at this point. I don't really give a shit. I hope you guys all get rich. I truly do. But one thing that just bothers me is like the logic. And most people are like, oh, well, One Piece has been around for 30 years plus, and it's a really powerful IP that's worth a shitload of money. Dragon Ball, I think, has been around longer, and it's actually a higher grossing IP than One Piece, like by quite a margin. Like if you look at the highest grossing IPs, it's like Pokemon, Hello Kitty, something, something, something. Dragon Ball is like 13, and One Piece is like 24. So that's like one of those arguments that I kind of brought up in my video that got a lot of people angry. And I was like, I respect you if you believe in One Piece. I think that's awesome. Like if you've done your research, but using the argument of it's old and it's a successful IP, that's not a rational argument, because you can look at Dragon Ball, which is older and objectively more successful. And up until like 3 weeks ago, that TCG was trash, according to the markets. So I think one of my criticisms was just that, and that got me a lot of hate. And I'm like, I'm just, not to quote Nostalgianomics here, but like the data's the data. I mean, like, I don't know. It's a silly argument.
I heard what you said in that video, and the reason why I don't agree with that is just because what happened 20, 30 years ago in terms of revenue and IP size is kind of irrelevant to what's happening now. Whereas like you look at a lot of the kids coming up, especially in the West, like anime is growing. One Piece is one of those animes everybody knows about, right? Like there's a lot of cultural influence. And what I know now is Bandai is working very hard to build the influence in North America. So I think just in terms of like peaking as an IP, One Piece is obviously doing that much better than Dragon Ball is right now. Like if we were in, I don't know, if we were in like 2001 having this conversation, it would be completely different. And then Dragon Ball would be probably much more relevant, in my opinion. But it's just because like One Piece right now, the story's peaking, the manga's getting towards the end, the anime as well. The sets are getting better every single time. There's a lot going for it. Whereas Dragon Ball, sure, larger IP, it's been around longer, but so is Star Wars. Nobody gives a shit about Star Wars anymore because that was for boomers, right? I think the average Dragon Ball fan is probably like 35, 40. Whereas like for One Piece, it's probably like 18 to 25 in that range, right? So that's going to be the next generation that has money. They're probably going to be wanting to put that money into something like One Piece, opposed to maybe us in Pokemon, and then like your older uncle or something in Dragon Ball, if that makes sense.
So see, I agree with you. I think that makes a ton of sense. My criticism was no one else made that clear. Like the people that I was referring to in the comment section, and why I made a part 2, it's like no one had a logical thought like that. Everything you said is dead ass accurate. I like that. And because you're a real investor, you're actually doing this. You've got a channel that you know what you're talking about. It's everyone who thinks they're an investor who's like, oh, well, it's old. And I mean, look at my comment section. The amount of people like, you have no idea how strong, like how much, this IP is worth and how long it's been around. To your credit, yeah, Star Wars is older. Freaking McDonald's is older. Like we want a McDonald's TCG, we're gonna put Ronald on a freaking car. So
that could go hard, man.
It could unironically go hard, actually. I have no issue with One Piece, Dragon Ball, any of them. I have an issue with like a lack of logic, because that's what's gonna get people broke. Is if those are your 2 pillars for a good investment, go invest in Hello Kitty cards. If they're arguing what you just said, I think they're making a really rational choice. It might not work out for them, but I think it's rational. And that's the point of my video is like, where's your logic at? I think what you said makes total sense. I might start buying One Piece now.
We'll see when that distro hits, you know?
I mean, it should, yeah. I actually have 2 cases of One Piece. I've got a case of the best and then a case of the whatever the second set is.
Okay, Paramount War. Gotcha.
Yeah, that one.
The PRBO, is it PRBO 1? It's a fairly old, because they've made 2 of those now.
Yes.
One just came out. Okay, the older
one.
Yeah, that's one. Like the green tape box behind me. That's that set, except that's like for Asia distribution, which that's an entire mess in itself in One Piece. They, for whatever reason, they changed the tape on the boxes and they put a little stamp on it that says for Asia, and they're only supposed to be distributed in Asia. Exact same product, and it was like 30-40% cheaper for the longest time. So myself and I know a lot of other people made a play on some of that, just because if One Piece hits kind of mainstream in terms of like rip and ship culture, everybody's going to buy those because they're cheaper and it's the same product.
Oh, that's smart. See, I respect that, man. Like that's the logic I wish people employed. That's freaking brilliant. Are you going to do rip and ships?
I thought about it, but no, I don't think so. Again, like it all comes back to me not wanting to be location based. So if I want to go live in Colombia, can't really do a rip and ship from there, right? So it's something where I never want to start something, grow it, and then feel like I'm kind of tied down to a location. So I'm happy where I'm at now, and I know that's like never gonna make me the most influential person on YouTube in this space, because I'm never gonna have distro and know like what you know and some other people, but I'm happy with the lane I'm in, so I'm gonna stay here for now.
Respect. I mean, do you follow Alex Formosi on YouTube?
Yeah, Alex is great.
Yeah, so I mean, he's been talking about a lot about scaling lately. He's like, people they look at a task and they think, oh, this isn't scalable, so they don't start it. And he's like, there's a lot of things that aren't scalable that even if you did them short term, you'd get ripped or healthy or rich, etc. So I'm kind of looking at you. I'm like, who gives a shit if you can't keep the rip and ship going for 2 years? It's like, do it for 6 months. You'd probably make 50 grand.
That's true. That's a good point, actually.
Like, who cares if you can't scale it?
If I know that I'm going to stay here, because I'm still on the fence. Like, again, like one day I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to Colombia. The next day I'm like, I'm going to stay in Canada for now. If I make the decision to stay here for the next like 2 to 3 years, I'd probably do it and just go hard for a year, see what happens.
Yeah.
It's tempting. It's definitely tempting, especially when I see how much people are selling packs for and stuff. Like, and there's no one huge in Canada that I'm aware of doing it. Like, I know there's a few guys on Whatnot. I don't even know if anyone on YouTube is from Canada. I mean, maybe Colin, the Pokey Office.
I think it's just Colin and you is all I can think of.
Yeah. Trevor TCG. Shout out Trevor. Trevor's actually great. But yeah, like no one massive. So maybe one day. We'll see.
I think you should do it.
You did it for a while, right?
I did it on Twitch for a good like year or so. And let me tell you, that was not scalable, but I still made like 200 grand doing it. So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I mean, like, good point. I got exhausted. It's exhausting. It was really fun for a while, but like, dude, that's a sucky existence doing that every single day for years. I mean, you could start today, and by the time you move to Colombia, you'll be over it anyway.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like
maybe you're gonna convince me to do this, man.
I'll be honest, man. I think you're crazy not to, because there's no reality that exists where you start this thing and even want to do it for more than 2 years. No shot anyone's gonna be doing this shit for more than a couple years. It's exhausting. It's emotionally taxing, but like, you could straight up do this until you move to Colombia. We're talking about like the country Colombia, right?
Yeah. Okay. She's from the country Colombia.
Yeah, I was like, make sure this wasn't like a city. Yeah, you could do rip and ships for a year in this bull market. You could probably clear 50, 60 grand, move to Colombia and be like, I'm sure the dollar goes pretty far in Colombia.
So far.
Yeah, you could be rich as hell. Just do it for like 6 months. You've got a fan base. I got Alex. Alex streams because I told him to.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask him. He literally streams because
yeah, no, I believe it. I think he
yeah.
said that multiple times.
He did, sure. Yeah. When I met him in Kansas City, and I was like, bro, he had like 6,000 subs, half of you. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, you're famous, just do it. And now that's all he does. Yeah. I think you should do it. I think you're crazy to wit.
I'll say this too, like, and maybe this is just my bias, like not trying to make any excuse not to do it. When I watch streams, and this is just me as a person, like the really like fake kind of personality that a lot of streamers have, like just bugs me. It's like when I watch Wenzel TCG, anytime someone puts in a big order and it's one of their regulars, they're like, yo, what's up, man? Like huge order. Like, dude, I can't do that shit. You know, like I
don't have to.
Like, you don't have to? You don't think so?
No, that's the whole thing. Your audience knows you. If you start like Leonharding and making the O face and screaming, yeah, that ain't gonna work. You're gonna get sick of it really quick because it's fake. Your audience is gonna be weirded out because that's not you. You're chill. You barely showed your face for like a year. Like, dude, when I stream twice a month on Drip, we do giveaways. And even when I was on Twitch, making 6 figures of sales on Twitch, doing rip and chips, there was never a single time I went, oh my, like I don't have that energy. I'm very chill, very demure, as I say. I'd get the best hit in the set, and I'd be like, dude, this is freaking sick. Like, bro, this is like, you don't have to be animated. You see these people on Whatnot, that's their thing. But here's the difference. They needed to be animated to get fans because they started on Whatnot. These people aren't YouTube famous. You're YouTube famous, obviously fame being a relative term here. Like, you already have an audience. Alex doesn't go crazy. He's pretty chill. Like, you watch a Nostalgianomics stream, like,
Alex goes pretty hard though sometimes. Yo, I haven't talked to him, but it feels a bit exaggerated if I'm being honest.
It probably is.
Just but yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I'll say this. I've never exaggerated. I've never raised my tone. I've never like I can't fake it. I'm not that guy. And I did very, very well.
That's a good point. That's
exceptionally well. Like you could do this and it would change your life. 6 months.
I'm tempted, man. No, I'm tempted.
Yeah. Do it on YouTube though. Don't do it on Whatnot. Do it on YouTube.
That's the other thing I don't get is like why everyone's still on Whatnot. It kind of confuses me. This is something I want to ask you too, because this is something I completely forgot about. This is tangential, but I have a guy that I work with. He's on eBay, and I think they're doing like 75 to 90,000 a month in revenue on eBay. What would you say to someone who only is on eBay right now and tell them like why should they get on maybe like Wix or Shopify and own their own store?
It depends what they're selling. If they're doing singles, I kind of get it. I think eBay is probably a good resource for singles. But if you're doing anything that's like scalable, like if you're doing something where you can change the quantity in your shop, like you put one picture of a booster box, you can change the quantity. I think you're insane for selling on eBay or TCG Player. Anyone selling sealed product on either platform, I have tried to get in your head a million times. I don't understand for a second why you would do that. 13% fees. You don't own the customer. If they change the fee structure or they straight up shut down, which happens, or they get bought out by somebody else, and then that like, I don't understand the logic at all. I would love to hear someone explain it to me because it makes no sense. The argument back in the day was, oh, discoverability. It's like, dude, yeah, in a bear market, maybe, but like any moron could sit on the corner of their street with a Destined Rivals box and probably get 5 bills for it. Like, you don't need discoverability. Make some content, send people to a site. DJ's Poke Center is a great example of this. The bro started making content like 4 months ago, and he did $100,000 in revenue. It's like, I don't get it. I mean, think about it. If he did 100K in revenue on TCG Player, he lost $13,500 of fees. That's a car. I don't get it at all.
And they do a ton of sealed product. I think they do a decent amount of singles too. But I guess like you could just run your singles on eBay if it's that big of a deal, and then run your sealed product on your own site. So
the Pokey Office Colin, he should be, he's probably in here somewhere. You should just copy what he does. He has a store online, and then for singles, he has a link from his site to his eBay page. And I'm assuming there's some kind of affiliate thing going on there. If not, there should be. Great way to do it.
That's
I don't know. Your guy that sells sealed on eBay, I think that's insane.
Yeah, Jason, if you're watching, there you go. This coming straight from the mouth of Brian, not me. So get on that.
You're giving up all your margin.
Why is Vapor self-catching strays? He's not, man. Like I literally said Vapor was the only reason or the main reason, I guess I should say, that I started my channel. So I was like, if he could do this and get views, I could do it too. So respect. He was kind of like the first guy too. And I know he's not huge, and like if we want to talk about like putting out way too much content and stuff, I think you can overdo it too in this hobby. Like 3 videos a day, man. That's borderline psychotic in my opinion. But no, he was like the first one that kind of paved the way. And I was like, okay, like I could do this too. So mad respect to Vapor. Pokebram says too, I just use my iPhone and Luma Vision or Fusion. I'm guessing that's like an editing software or something.
Never heard of it. Probably.
Maybe it's for thumbnails. Cool. Let's see. Try and find some useful comments in here. By the way, guys, we're like 75 minutes into this. Brian's links are in the description. Go check out PokeNE, the store, and the YouTube channel.
Thanks, y'all.
I'm sure there's lots of content in the pipeline.
Oh, tons of content in the pipeline. Some good saucy stuff.
Question, Grayson, you think Bandai will do cross-platform collab between their TCGs like Dragon Ball and One Piece? I feel like they have before done collab cards. I'm pretty sure I've seen one that was like Dragon Ball and One Piece. Could they do it again in the future? Maybe. I wouldn't be shocked. I've heard there's some really big collabs coming this year, and they're not guaranteed, but they're in talks. And like the guy who told me about the Red Bull one is telling me about some other ones. So we'll see. It's looking like it could be a big year for One Piece. But with Dragon Ball, I don't know. Gundam, who knows? We'll see. I opened a store in Thunder Bay, Ontario, a year and a half ago. I recently surpassed 1 million in sales. That's amazing.
Damn. All right.
That's huge. Thunder Bay, by the way, is like middle of nowhere. Like that's pretty much dead center Canada, I'm pretty sure, or fairly close.
Impressive.
Melbourne, Victoria, awesome. Yeah, man, I want to go to Australia one day just to say I've been there, you know, check it out. But have you gone there, Brian?
Dude, I've never left the country. Traveling? I'm so lame.
Never?
I know a passport. Like I'm really lame. I don't like airplanes.
Is it like a fear of flying?
No, I just hate the whole experience. The TSA, the smells, the people, the whole thing sucks. I don't drive either, so like Collecticon, I'm done with.
Yeah, that's fair. Dude, for me, like it's an irrational fear of flying. Like I don't like being in planes, and the fact that like I don't have control. So I think traveling like takes probably time off my life just from the stress it causes. But dude, like seeing the world there's so many places I still want to go. I'll ask you this because maybe this is a better way of framing it. If you could like snap your fingers and go to different countries, would you go there?
I want to go to there. Obviously, I haven't given this too much thought because I can't even pronounce the freaking name. I watched there's this Korean K-drama. It's called like Ichiwan or something.
Itaewon Class or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that about like the guy, his dad dies or whatever, and then it's the revenge? Yeah, I watched that too. That's really good.
I thought no one talks about that show. I'm shocked you even knew what it was. I watched that like a couple years ago, and I was like, that city looks sick. So I want to go there.
That's right in Seoul, I'm pretty sure. I thought that was like the high class part of Seoul.
That sounds right. It's like all in that same like area. I think that'd be dope. And you know the cliche like Japan sounds dope, but I don't know. I mean, obviously I could have traveled for a long time. Now we're having a kid, so like that's gonna take a back seat. But I just like being at home, man. I got my dogs here.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
really
fair.
lame.
That's like me too, man. You know, I feel like right now I spend probably 95% of my time in like a 30 square meter radius. Like a very
Yeah.
it's wild to actually think about, right? Conceptually, but dude, I have all my family where I am, like very close to me, same city. You know, my wife's here now, so it's like everything I need is kind of where I am. So I don't feel like I have to go soul searching or something, if that makes sense.
I'm with you, man. Like, not everything needs to be a freaking adventure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing out on the world. Who knows?
DR sleep packs are $6 USD in Canada. Buy, question mark.
It's pretty
I think they
good.
might have. I wonder if this person was here for the DR rant earlier on. What do you think about bundles? Because I know we talked about the boxes being like $600, but if someone's buying a bundle for like $45, are you on board with that, or is it still just like you wouldn't touch it?
I mean, I'd buy a bundle for like opening packs, ripping ships, etc. As far as like, is that investable? I mean, I think it's a lot less investable. Like, I think like there's a lot of people who are like, oh, bundles are, the booster boxes, then ETBs, then bundles. As far as like the investment, Uh, I don't know. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I think like booster boxes and ETBs for sure are on top, but there's some interesting EX boxes in like every set that I think are more interesting than booster bundles. Like it depends what your goals are, I suppose, but like booster bundles, I mean, they're boring. They don't have any art on them. There's 6 packs in them. There's no pizzazz. I don't know. For investability stakes, I mean, I don't personally dig it, but what do I know?
Fair enough. Grayson's voice is smooth like butter. I don't know about that, man. I think a lot of it's just the mic setup, the filters, all of that jazz.
It does sound good. You should do an ASMR channel.
Dude, it's funny. I was gonna talk to you about that. I didn't know if we should
Yeah.
bring it up because you said you did one, right? For
Oh
a
yeah. I,
while.
I was a pretty big deal, honestly.
How many subs did you have?
At 2000.
That when did you do it too? I guess that's the question.
This would have been I was 20, 23, 24, so that'd be like 8 years ago.
At the time, that probably was like a huge channel because I don't think anyone 8, 10 years ago knew what ASMR was.
I was early. Like GB
Mm-hmm.
was a big deal. Shout out GB ASMR. She's
Mm-hmm.
legit.
Yeah.
She just had a baby. Good for her. But yeah, it was like 2000 was pretty good, and the ad revenue was shockingly well. The ad revenue was very high because the the whole point
Long
of an
retention,
ASMR
hey?
video is long, is
Yeah.
length. Like people would listen to it when they sleep, so you can make like a 3-hour video, and the ad revenue is crazy in that. So I made a shitload of money doing ASMR, like relative to my channel size. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't rich, but
It's kind of interesting too because like I get the long retention ASMR, but then I just think about someone like listening to like knocking on wood or something, then you just get blasted with like a McDonald's ad or something. But yeah,
I
no,
think
that's cool.
it's I think it is crazy that people go through that. The YouTube Premium people, I mean, you still get money from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to think that's a lot of the people, but you're probably right. There was probably just a random McDonald's ad in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been a premium guy my whole life. I only watch YouTube, so I have to be.
I still try and get by with ad block. It's not always the
Okay.
best, but most of the time it still works. And like if I can get something for free, like dude, I refuse to pay for it. I know YouTube Premium though, like is pretty legit. I'll say.
It's
Like,
worth it.
yeah. Yeah, I think more people need ASMR in their lives, man. Very soothing, you know.
I agree. I think
I
it makes the
like
world
it.
a more
I
positive place.
I know a lot of people probably don't even know what we're talking about right now, but dude, like ASMR is fucking changes lives.
Yeah, y'all don't know about autonomous sensory meridian response, y'all? Come on, get
There
on
you
our
go.
level. Shit.
TCGs are greater than traditional stocks. That's a better way to say it. What do you think about this? I'm sure you have some thoughts.
I think It depends on your net worth. I think if you're rich, traditional stocks will keep you rich and allow you to live your life. I think most people, I don't think anyone's ever gotten rich investing in traditional stocks. That's probably not a, it probably sounds like a hot take, but it's probably not that hot of a take. Like, nobody gets rich investing in traditional stocks. They stay rich. If you're, if you got like $3,000 to your name, investing even 50% of your net worth into stocks every month, like, you're not really going to get anywhere. But TCG, you could absolutely get rich very quickly. And once you do, then I would suggest traditional stocks. But if you're like in your 20s or 30s, man, like, I think taking the risk makes a lot more sense. Or invest in yourself. Like, if you've got $10,000 laying around, you're 27 years old, you got 10 grand. Like, I think spending $1,000 on a class or a course, or I'm not talking some guru bullshit either. I'm talking like a cooking class, something. I think you'd come a lot more ahead investing in yourself or a risky asset than putting it in like Apple. Like, no one's ever got rich buying Apple. And unless it's a game. I mean, yeah, there's obviously been exceptions for sure, but like,
I think it depends on like how you define rich too. Because like if someone's invested in the S&P over 40 years and they make a couple $1,000,000 because they're, you know, putting $500 away a month or whatever, like, is that rich? For some people, that would be rich because they're never going to see that type of money beforehand. But what you're talking about, like, you know, people making tens of millions of dollars, it's just not going to happen in traditional markets anymore. I don't think, unless you have, like Brian said, a lot of money to start with.
Yeah, like, I don't think millions of dollars in 40 years is rich. I mean, like, who gives a shit? You're 70 years old now. Okay, great. Now what? Like, you're gonna go to Cabo? I mean, you're in your 20s or 30s now. I think you could definitely set yourself up for a more successful life taking a little bit of risk. Like, don't be nuts, but like, there's a lot of. I mean, I don't know. It'd be like, imagine working out. Imagine like right now you do you take an hour out of your day every day to do push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups. But you don't get buff. Like, it all just gathers in your tummy. You've got like a meter in your stomach. And you don't actually get ripped until you're 65. Who gives a shit? Like, I want to be ripped now. So, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, it seems kind of irresponsible, but like, I want to do something where I see results right away. And I think investing in TCGs, or investing is a strong word. I think interacting with TCGs in a way that could better your wealth, I think that makes a lot more sense when you're young.
You realize that monologue, although I agree with it, is going to lead to someone else ending up on Caleb Hammer in like 6 months. Just going way too hard on TCGs.
I think you got to treat it like a business. I mean, for sure, you got to be smart. You got to know your limitations. Like, I mean, if someone gave me a basketball and was like, "All right, go be an NBA player," like, there's no shot. And there's some people that you give them $100, go be rich. Like, there's less of a shot. So you got to know your limits. But I can tell you for sure, you will not ever get rich investing in traditional stocks. It can't happen.
What do you think was like the most important skill that you've learned in your whole entrepreneurial journey that's made you the most money?
Making content and how important it is. I'd be nowhere without it at all. I'd be completely, I'd be depressed and I wouldn't have any money. What about you?
Yeah, making content, I think, has to be, for me, like the biggest one for sure. I would say sales too is super important, and I'm not like the best salesman ever, but even just like learning the basics of like how to pique interest in people and how to, you know, even the more minute things like setting up a sales page or something. Like, I chat GPT the sales page, and I have a mentor. I call him a mentor. He's from Germany. He's helped me out a ton. I sent him my sales page. This is a guy running like a huge business, right? And he just looks at it and he goes, "Man, like, you got to change this, and this." But it's just like once you learn those things, And even just making the adjustments, it helped so much. But it's like, I guess another skill too is, and I'm not perfect at this, but realizing what I don't know has helped out a
Mm.
ton. And I feel like that's kind of a skill too, because like so many people go through life just with like 100% ignorance. They don't care about learning anything else. And if you're just open to the idea about like maybe being wrong, or maybe you do need to learn this, that alone will like put you in front of 90% of people, in my opinion.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What do you sell? What are you in
I
sales for?
Well, I have a landing page. So like what I do now, I work with a lot of people one-on-one, the consults. And then now I'm setting up a mentorship, private Discord. The idea is like a lot of people are coming into this space and they don't know what they're doing. They're starting from square one. So I'm trying to position myself kind of as the authority to get people set up to do whatever they need to do. And then also the Discord now, I mean, we're bringing in Dan to do a presentation. The idea is like I'm going to build kind of a bank of resources over the next couple of years of, people who have done this in the space a long time. They'll have private conversations with the group and there'll kind of just be a catalog there, right? So that's what I'm
Okay.
doing. So trying to
That's
just sell people
pretty
on like,
cool.
yeah, exactly.
So like consulting on like the TCG
Yeah.
investing world, or okay.
Dude, you would be, I'll talk to you off cam too if you're interested. Like the amount of money coming into not even just Pokemon, but One Piece too. Outside money, like these are people who have never even thought about investing in TCGs. Like it's blown my mind over the past year, the amount of people I've talked to and like that are doing very interesting shit in different
Interesting.
parts of the world. So when people talk about like private equity and TCGs growing and being kind of viewed as more reliable assets at this point, I believe it. Because I see all these people who are super successful in tons of different avenues in life, and they're all coming into TCGs now. So it's like it really reaffirms what I'm doing, and I think what a lot of people are doing in this space.
What's your funnel? Is it just YouTube?
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I agree with you. Like the content is everything. Because if no one knows you exist, like you could be the best salesperson in the world, but you're never gonna have traction.
Yeah. Gary Vee always said that attention is the number one asset. It's like
Do you still watch Gary Vee?
less of him, but I mean, if he comes up on my feed, I peaked at Gary Vee content like maybe 4 to 6 years ago, and I've just been like kind of doing my own thing lately. But he's got good shit.
I didn't watch him for a very long period of time. And then I think maybe like 6 months ago, he started popping back up in my feed when he started doing like the daily V's again and the
Yeah, I'm
vlogs and
very
stuff.
happy
So
about that. Like he brought that back.
it's interesting though, because like that tells me that even if you've been around a very long time in this, you can still kind of reinvent yourself. I know a lot of people talk about YouTube as like a 7-year career, 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, he's been doing it for 15 years at this point,
Yeah.
18 years, something like that. So
He was
yeah.
early, like reviewing
Mhm.
wine before YouTube was even like well known. It's crazy. Yeah, he's a good poster child for the power of content and how infinite it can be.
Mhm.
It's fun.
We've been going for like 90 minutes, man. I
That's
feel like we
crazy.
just take a couple more questions. I mean, you're super busy. I don't want to take up too much of your
I'm not
time.
that busy.
Come on, man. Come on. You got a baby on the way, 7-figure business, 8
Yeah.
figures.
I'm honestly
You're
not. It's
busy.
great.
Are
It's
you playing
honestly.
any games on the Switch too? You talked about that, right?
I'm too busy for video games, but
Yeah.
no. All I do is make content. Like this is just content. I'm just working now. Like
Yeah.
Justin does everything. Justin, Bryce, Abby. Like I got my people. I don't do anything. That's great.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you do you edit all your videos and make thumbnails and stuff, or have you outsourced anything yet?
I outsource like 7 to 8 videos to a guy. Really simple videos where I'm just like yelling at the camera. But anything like that takes even a slight bit of creativity, I just do it myself. The thumbnails I do myself. They're pretty easy to do now. You get a formula going, but all I do is content. This is just content. So I am working. Like, this is me being busy.
So, like, you're on 24/7. You don't take any time to just chill, man? Does that not, like, blow your brains out? Because I feel like, at least for me, I gotta put away, like, a Friday night to just go crazy on, like, CS2 or something for a couple hours, just to mentally reset. Like, what does a mental reset look like for Brian?
I mean, I play Smash with the boys every Monday. We have Smashler night, so the girls watch The Bachelor and the boys play Smash. I hang out with friends. Like friends and family are very important to me. If I'm not working, I'm with friends or family, but I don't do literally anything else.
That's fair.
Like, I have no other hobbies or interests. Like, I'm either with friends or family, or I'm working in some capacity, usually content. But that is my hobby. Like, that's it, and I love it. I tried playing video games. I tried like getting into. I have a guitar. Like, I mess with this, but I don't know. I don't really like anything else.
That's fair.
I guess it works.
That's fair. Question from Kyle too. As a small investor, what's better right now, booster boxes at market price or loose packs that I'm able to find at MSRP that are 30% under market?
Small investor, booster box at market price.
Do you sell a lot of loose packs through your store?
I think most people can't sell loose packs because of how like sketchy it can be. I do sell a lot, but I've built a reputation that allows me to. So, and like you could sell loose packs if you started a store. I think most people probably couldn't though. So I guess for that reason, I would probably go booster. Well, we're in a different market now where you can invest in loose packs and sell them to a rip and shipper. And so I think with that in mind, you'd probably be okay doing loose packs. Like, if you can get like 151 for like 30% under market right now, you might have trouble selling them to like on a store level, but you could hit up like freaking Nostalgianomics or Catch 'em All Collectibles and they'd buy them from you for a pretty good amount. So I guess I'd say loose packs.
I think Alex said that maybe in today's video or like a live stream this week where he invested in like only loose packs for some sets or something now. Specialty sets maybe is what it was. I see a world where like if you build a pipeline of people that you could sell to and you do good business, loose packs for sure. I mean, I remember like way back in the day, I might have been like one of the first on YouTube that kind of looked at like loose packs and the values that you could get. Like the quick ball tins when they were on Pokemon Center, you could buy an Evolving Skies for like $4, and then your Brilliant was like $5. I think it was maybe Astral or Fusion actually, I think was in there for $5 or whatever. And it was so I still think there's a point too where like when the ratio gets to maybe like loose pack value versus like the price per pack in a booster box, once it gets like below 0.6. So for example, if a booster box is $360, that's $10 a pack. If a loose pack is $6 or less, I think at that point it kind of makes sense to start buying stuff. So like 0.7, if you're 30% under market, maybe that's like not where I would buy it. If it was a little bit better, I think that's a decent place to buy. But yeah, for sure. Like if you have a pipeline, I think it's a good way to go about things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That makes sense to me. Crazy world we're in.
We're super far behind chat too, because I just
clearly. Wow. Damn.
Gotta disagree. Paldean Fates isn't better than DR. Yeah, I mean, teach their own, right? I think so. Yeah, I would say set value for DR is definitely higher right now, I'm pretty sure. Or at least top 10 value is, so. Paldean Fates is really top heavy, but those cards are insane. Like the Bubble Mew is iconic. Even like the Gardevoir and the Charizard are great too. Do you have a favorite set, Brian?
The set that makes me the most money. No, I'm just kidding. Favorite set, I mean,
that's the honest answer.
That is the honest answer. Now, my favorite set I think that I ever interacted with regularly. I really liked V-Star Universe quite a bit. I think we had the most fun with that. Like that was in my streaming days where things were a lot more pure and fun. And we opened a shitload of V-Star Universe on Twitch. I think that was the most fun I've had opening packs.
There you go. Thoughts on Paradox Rift too? I think you still have a lot of this, right?
Bro, I got like $97,000 of Paradox Rift. I guess I'm bullish on it. Go buy Paradox Rift. I think I bought Paradox Rift 90 grand of it because it was cheap. Would I buy 90 grand of it at $250? Like, no, like absolutely not. So that's something you guys always have to look at. You have to look at like us, like famous YouTubers. Like if we have a shitload of a set, make sure you know how we got it. I have a distributor. I was able to get a lot of it really cheap, but I did buy $20,000 of it aftermarket, so to speak, and I did believe in it. I think it'll go like $400 within the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Definitely not going to be the best set, but if you're buying it like $80 a box, $90 a box, kind of hard to go wrong, right? Someone was asking if I'm in Toronto. I'm not in Toronto. At least I assume this was pointed at me. I am West Coast Canada, British Columbia. 8 hours from Vancouver in a small town called Nelson, BC.
Okay.
So there you guys go. Definitely not near Santa. We're quite far, actually. Fun fact, too, I don't think people realize this. I'm pretty sure it's like more than half of Canadians live like within an hour of the border from the US. I'm pretty sure it's something crazy like that. So yeah, Canada's massive, man, but everyone lives like basically in the States.
Huh. That's too cold up there, huh? Like higher than that?
Dude, the infrastructure is just dog shit too. So it's like if you live in Nunavut or Northwest Territories, like everything has to be flown in. Crazy expensive. Sometimes it's just like ice roads, dirt roads. They don't even have paved roads. So yeah.
Okay.
Tough life. Different life, I guess. Some people like it. Let's see. If you see anyone too that we should bring up, definitely let me know. We are so like I'm reading this. It says 7:39. I think it's about an hour behind the chat.
I was gonna say I just start scrolling for the good ones at this point. Damn, that's crazy.
What we're doing. I'm just looking for a question too. I mean, if anyone did that. This was definitely a popular chat. I'm gonna have to go back through this after and just see what everyone's saying, but hopefully it's been pretty civil in here.
I think it's been pretty entertaining for people. I'll tell you what, you find a good question. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Sounds good.
I'm trying to be hydrated here.
Yeah. By the way, guys, while Brian's stepping away, his links are in the description. Go check out Brian if you haven't already. It's all love. All love at the end of the day, guys. How much inventory? This might be a question for Brian, right? Doing a rip and ship. That's a good one. Let me mark this actually. Star that. And then 3 videos about Prismatic. Just record on your phone. Yeah, guys, like starting content's super easy. You know, I started just screen grabbing and editing in DaVinci. So record on your phone, like Impulsive says. I think that's what you do, right, bro? Just screen grab on your phone. You got a mic. Maybe it's just hooked up. I don't even know if it's wireless. Philip says, is consignment worth it in terms of selling your product? I think if you're in the States, it's probably one of the best ways to go about things right now. If you're getting like 95% payouts on most items over $1,000 or over 500, whatever it is, kind of seems like a no-brainer. Are you guys best friends now? We never actually hated each other. I've always had respect for Brian. Like we disagree on a lot of stuff. I think a lot of people are going to see that in this live stream, but no, like, dude, it's all YouTube, man. Don't worry about it. There's very few people I genuinely don't like in this space. I'm sure most of you guys who actually watch the content know who I'm talking about, but Brian's definitely not one of those people. I don't know if this is the best question, but it's the best one I've found so far. So this person asks, how much inventory to start a rip and ship? What do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. You should write this down because you're gonna start yours here soon. Uh, Definitely not too much. You guys don't want to like go crazy. Like a lot of y'all get a whatnot account, which I already wouldn't recommend. You have no following on YouTube, and you're just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna buy $10,000 of stuff now. Like, don't do that. If you're brand new, you want to sell out. Like, don't go crazy because especially if you Japanese, which a lot of you will do because it's the only thing accessible right now. I always say you get like 2 boxes of the newest set, Nihil Zero, Nihil Zero, whatever. 2 boxes of the high class set, which would be Mega Dream, and then a box or two of the cheapest set, which would be like Wild Force, Ancient Roar, Future Flash, blah blah blah. It's Japanese. And if you're doing English, I mean, the newest set, the cheapest set, and 151. So a box or two of all of those if you want to have some variety. But I mean, if you just want to do the newest set, which is like probably the best way to do it if you're really like down bad, get like 2 booster boxes. Like, don't go crazy. Like 2 booster boxes worth. And if you sell out, awesome. You can just buy more. You're gonna be a lot. You could screw yourself a lot harder selling out or not selling out and being stuck holding the bag than selling out and missing out on some potential earnings. Like, don't go crazy.
There you go. There you go. This person asks, I don't know how I'm going to say your name. Acuevas. Acuevas. Where did you get that bookshelf from? Everything behind me is from IKEA, including the Pokemon products, the booster boxes. It's all from IKEA. They actually have. No, I'm kidding. They don't have distro.
It wouldn't surprise me. I was like, maybe Canada's got some IKEA thing going on. I don't
know. What's something that you both legitimately disagree on that would make for an entertaining but healthy disagreement? I think. Oh, in the context of Pokemon, yeah, I was gonna say like, I think the education system we obviously disagree on a little bit, but I think we'd find a ton of common ground, and like part of it's cultural, part of it's institute, like everything plays a role in human being. And again, like this is where nuance goes to die. Like you can have one opinion on the internet, and once you flesh things out, like you realize there's so many factors that attribute to basically anything. I'm trying to think of Pokemon related, like where we disagree. Because a lot of what you say, like when you made that One Piece video, a lot of people didn't like what you said, but I was like, yeah, he's right. Like there's going to be a time where so many people leave. And I feel like even right now, it's kind of the case. Like when I don't know about your metrics, but when I look at my views, they're definitely down since the summer on the Pokemon channel. So I feel like there's less eyes on Pokemon right now, just in general. That's my take. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but there will come a time again where more eyes are back on it, and everyone buying now or in the future, whenever the opportunities come, they're going to be the ones who profit the hardest.
Yeah, my views have been ass. I'm not cool anymore. I'm like, oh man, I lost my spark. But yeah, I agree 100%. I watch every upload you have, and I don't. There's nothing I'm ever like, I don't agree with that. Like, I think we're on the same page for most stuff.
By the way, I think disagreeing is like healthy too. I hate the fact that so many people get in an echo chamber on YouTube and they all just say the same shit. And I try and bring like unique takes, but sometimes it's like there's only so many ways that you can skin a cat, right? So if we're talking about like Crown Zenith or 1.5, whatever the new set is, there might be like 2 differing takes and you pick a side, but it's not like you can just create like a third road and go down it, right? So
yeah,
I don't know.
Good point.
Do you ever feel like you get into a content rut? And if so, what do you do to kind of get out of that?
Yes, I do. And it's like if I'm in a rut, well, now what I do is I have a bunch of videos unlisted. Like I like pre-record them and schedule them out. So if I'm in like a super rut, like I just post content that I made like weeks ago. So I kind of have like a little petty cash drawer of content. So you'll never know because like it'll just look like a new upload. But before I started doing that, I just accepted it. I'm bipolar, so like you kind of get used to being in ruts. It's like every 3 weeks you're just like depressed as shit for a week. So like my life is ruts, and I've learned to just come to terms with it and be like, you know what, YouTube will survive without me for 10 days. I just like I used to try to force it. I'm just like, who gives a shit? Like, I'll come back and I'll make content again. So I don't know. I think I embrace the ruts. Forcing content just sucks. Like, if I'm in a rut, I'll watch. I don't know. I'll watch like some Makoto Shinkai shit on Crunchyroll and call it a day.
I think I'm the same way too. It's I know, like, if I do a 9 out of 10 video or 10 out of 10, and then like the next day it's another 10 out of 10 video, that third day I'm staring at my camera going like, fuck, dude, like I don't even want to turn this shit on, you know, like I just want to go do something else. And there'll be times where like I'll miss a day or two of uploading. So I kind of do the same thing. I don't have a back catalog though. That's actually really smart.
Yeah, it's been helpful.
Yeah, I need to get on that. That would be really useful for me too, I think. But yeah,
I think
it is what it is.
Like whenever you have like evergreen content, like obviously you do a lot of stuff like, oh, look at what happened today in the market, whatever. Like you got to do that every day, obviously. But if you have anything that's like evergreen that like someone could watch in a year and it's still relevant, I think just reserve that for the back catalog.
I don't know, maybe you disagree with this. I feel like it's so hard to have evergreen content in this space. Like I can't think of a video that I watched like 3 years ago in Pokemon investing that's just been like recommended to me again.
I mean, that's why I do so much business content. Like I'll just do some videos that could be like, and like just investing content, like basic principles. I think like that would be evergreen. Like if you started talking about like basic principles of investing, I mean that's pretty solid. But yeah, in general, most people's content is like the screen clickers, pokebeach.com news, which like that's obviously pretty like you have to be there. But yeah, I try to do generalized business content with a Pokemon spin to it because business is largely unchanged, but it's tough. You're not wrong.
I know when we were talking about this too, I was thinking to myself, you're going to piss someone off by saying that a couple $1 million isn't rich, but I mean, like, do you want to reiterate what you said? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if I gave you $1 million right now, sure, you're rich. Good for you. Go buy a Lambo. But like in the context of long-term investing, like $1 million when you're 60 isn't rich. Like who gives it? Like, and here's the proof of it. If I was like, hey, you know, Dan, hey Dan, you're gonna have $2 million, but you gotta wait till you're 62. Like you're not jumping up and down. And last I checked, when I say, hey, you're rich, you're probably jumping up and down. Like you don't think it's rich either. Random people on the internet, like even if it was $1 billion, like, hey, you're gonna be a billionaire when you're 73. All right. I mean, big deal. So yeah, I stand by what I said. Like long-term investing, if you make a couple $1 million when you retire, who gives a shit?
I think the other thing too, man, is like, I mean, obviously, look, my goal this year, as with every year, max out my TFSA, which in Canada it's like our tax-free savings account. You can put in, I think it's 7K this year. Some years the price changes, but you should be doing that. Like if you're working a job, do your, I think, what is it, Roth IRA? Like if you have an employee match or whatever, you should probably do that as well. Like get your match and stuff. But I watch, and maybe this is just me, like I'll watch really rich people that are old give interviews, like Charlie Munger. I think his last interview, he was asked about things that he didn't do in life. And he regretted like not catching, I think it was a tuna fish or something, like a very heavy tuna fish, whatever. And it just makes you think, man, like if you have money but you don't have time, like you really aren't rich anyways. Yeah. So it's like I would rather, and this has been like my whole philosophy and why I want to be location independent, is I never want to be in a job that I hate for like 40 to 50 years. And for some people, like they're going to be fine doing that and having a few $1 million when they're 40 or 50 or 60. And that's cool. Like that's absolutely fine. It's not my path in life or the one that I'm trying not to do. But at the same time, like you're not even guaranteed to hit 60. Like you could walk out, you could walk outside tomorrow, get hit by a bus, and then you're cooked, dude. So it's like, I don't know.
I 100% agree with everything you said. It's like, No, I don't think millions of dollars is rich at all. I'd rather have $100,000 and be able to travel the world if that's what like you've got so much freedom.
Mhm.
It's like I don't. There's a lot of millionaires who are not rich.
Yeah. Or not happy either, man. Like,
Yeah,
just 'cause I mean, you could grind your whole life, have money, like, actually be rich, 20, 30, $50 million and still be just fucking miserable because you know, your wife bangs her Pilates instructor or something, and then you're now like a commentator on Friday Night Football or something. I don't know, but
damn, base take. I agree.
Tom Brady's the GOAT still, though, let's be real. But uh not the one I was supposed to bring up, this one. What's the link to the private thing where Dan is presenting? Dan's presenting to my private group, which is we have a private Discord. It's part of the mentorship program. It's going to be like the mentorship link in the description. I think it's the second link. Might be fourth now because Brian's stuff is going to be at the top. But yeah, that's the goal with that is like over the next couple years, I want to bring in basically everyone. I mean, maybe Brian will come talk to us too.
Oh yeah.
Well, you'll have to give me a rate, man. Let me know how much it's gonna cost me to do. But no,
What
like
is it,
that.
like a one-time thing?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I don't give
exactly.
a shit. I'll just jump on there.
Oh, dude, come. Even Dan, like he gave me his rate, and I felt bad. And he talked about it in a live stream he did maybe like 2 weeks ago, how he's moving his rates up.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The thing too is like I know what I can charge for an hour. I feel like Dan should be charging like $500 an hour.
I literally said that. I literally said
Yeah.
500. Like
Hmm.
we are on the same page. He
Yeah.
said like he was raising it like 220 or some shit. I'm like, bro, you're
Even if he
500
goes to
easy.
even 3 is too low for him. Like, he was saying 2 or 3, I was like, "No, dude, like, you should go 5." I'm gonna tell him that too. Like, you have a guy in front of you doing 8 figures a year in
Hmm.
revenue, and he's charging, like, $100, and he was saying too, like, he's had some bad consults. I think when you raise your price, you get very serious people. Like,
Yes.
if your price is too low, you work with people that just aren't maybe at the level that you're expecting. Dude, I even think for you, man, like, you make business content. Have you ever thought about just, like, consulting for people or making a program, like, step by step?
Yeah, I do you know Brandon Martin,
Yep.
Mystic
Uh-huh.
7? He wanted to do like a paid like a school type thing. Not
Mhm.
literally school, but like whatever. And I didn't think it would work out well personally. He invited me to kind of be part of that, and I was like, I love it, but like I don't think it's for me. I don't know. I've made so much content centered around like, oh, my shit's free. I think it'd be hard to transition into like, oh, JK, my stuff's actually paid now. Um,
I don't think so, man.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
I'm
think
wrong.
so.
Maybe I'm dumb for that, but
I the
I
way
don't
I
know.
see it too is, like, there's always gonna be a very small percentage of people that get upset if you offer something that's paid, which that kinda just that goes with the internet. You're not gonna be able to please everyone. But there are gonna be people that I'm trying to think of like relevant questions. Like they would want you to teach them how to, set up like payment processing on Wix or something, right? And like all these minute things where like maybe you can't find a YouTube video to teach you that. Or maybe like AI is kind of pissing them off. And it's just like you condense down years of knowledge and years of experience that have built up like an 8-figure business, and people are willing to pay for that 100%. Even though it might be free on the internet, it's something where it saves them so much time and they get direct access to you. And it seems like you love doing the business content anyways.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I
All
would
right,
think about it, man.
you start a riff and ship, and I'll start consulting. We'll see. We'll see who gets rich faster. Cheered for both of us.
We could turn that into a series.
That would
That could
actually
be
be
fire.
hilarious. That's content, baby. I just saw Super Sloth vibes in the chat. He said Deep Pocket Monster is offering a social media business masterclass for 75 hundo.
Wow.
Interesting.
And you know what's funny?
Hmm.
It's probably worth it.
Probably.
Probably
I've
worth it.
watched Pat Flynn way before I was into Pokemon.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I've never spoken to Pat, but the guy's a genius for sure.
He's
Like,
a genius, and he's very like nice with his time. Like we've DM'd each other many times, and he's
mhm.
helped me out for free with a lot of like a lot of things I needed help with. He's very like generous with his time. So yeah, it's probably worth it.
You could probably do something similar. 100%. 100%, man.
You're not wrong. I mean, like I probably could. I really like my free time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But $500 an hour, I mean, yeah, I could charge that. I'm certainly Dan could. Yeah. Interesting. Maybe. We'll see.
Something to think about.
TBD.
I mean, diapers are expensive, man. So, you know,
you're not wrong. We're pre-buying at Costco right now. That's just crazy.
Grayson, what you got invested in CS2? I don't think any skins right now, man. I have fuck, what's it called? Boreal Forest USP. And the only reason I have one of those is because it looks cool. And that's it. And I think it was the one Forest used like way back in the day. Nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about if you don't play CS2. But yeah, like I have a couple cheap skins and maybe like a couple knife cases, like 20 maybe. Some major consoles, like the capsules, not consoles. That's it, man. After Valve made the decision to just go, yeah, like you can trade up to a knife. Nah, not for me, man.
Okay, I've heard. I'm kind of aware of that situation. I've watched some like random little YouTube docs on that. That sounds very interesting.
Skin trading and like investing, it was crazy, man, because you basically had to crash overnight in all the knives and stuff. But then a lot of like the reds actually went up because you could now use like a lot of the covert skins to trade into a knife, right? So it's interesting. But I think too, it's kind of the same thing with like backdooring at distro and Pokemon. A lot of people knew it was coming because there were like massive trades being made the day before Valve implemented that.
That's fascinating.
And I have way more confidence in Pokemon as a company than I do in Valve. Like Valve has proven they'll do whatever the fuck they want, even if it doesn't make them the most money. Like they don't care. So yeah, I try and stay away from CS2 at this point, investing. The echo chambers are insane to me. So many people get mad when you talk about a difference of opinion. Yeah, that's true. Question: how much inventory do you think you could move in a 12-month period without impacting the market price of a product? It's a good question, Austin. By the way, before you answer, sorry to cut you off. Shout out Austin. If you guys watch my video today, I do the booster box update in the spreadsheet. Austin helped me so much getting some of the new formulas going for a bunch of different things. We're building it into something much larger now. I can't take credit for it. That was all Austin. So shout out again for like probably the 50th time this week.
How much inventory? I mean, I guess I would need to go deeper in on that question. Like, if you're just talking like general English and Japanese Pokemon, I mean, we move 5 million of stuff a year, and I'm sure I haven't affected the market price on anything at all. So, I mean, I'd say at least like 20 million wouldn't change a damn thing. If we're talking about like an individual item, obviously it depends on the SKU. Like, there's a Cosmic Eclipse booster box, like it would only take a few of those, I'd imagine. But like a new product, like if I got, if I got a shitload of Destined Rivals booster boxes, I mean, probably like $1 million of it. I don't like Terrestrial Festival, like we've sold like $800,000 of that set alone. And like I think it would be very silly of me to think I influence the market price. So 7 figures in most items, I would think.
My guess would be Austin's asking this too because I had him on a live stream. He's starting Black Label Fund. They're raising money. They're basically making a fund around TCGs. So I think a lot of the question there is his curiosity about having to liquidate eventually.
I feel like I watched that. I didn't know his name though. Oh, this guy, managing director of. Yeah. I listened to that while I was at the gym the other day. I don't think I understand. I caught it like midway through. So what's he trying to do? What's the gist of this?
I'm gonna butcher this, Austin. So, don't hate me too much. The idea is they're basically starting kind of like a fund that you can invest in. Anyone can invest in. They're going to take your money, they're going to invest it, but into TCGs. So physical products, whether it's booster boxes, bundles. I don't know if they're going to do slabs at all. I feel like I've asked you that, Austin, before, and maybe even like books and other collectibles. So collectible fund, essentially.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, it's not a bad idea. There's definitely some risk involved in that, but I don't know Austin personally, but no, it seems like a reasonable idea. Are you guys tight, or do you guys meet
Yeah,
online or
pretty
what?
chill.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you working on that together? Is it like a collab?
I believe, an official consultant for it. Maybe
Oh,
not. I don't know if he wants to put a label on it, but yeah, I'm not like super involved. I mean, there's much smarter people working on it behind the scenes than me. So
there was a big player. I'm not going to say his name, but the reason this didn't happen was because of some serious controversies a couple of years ago. But he was he wanted to do this. Like he was very much working on this type of thing. He asked me to get involved. I wasn't really interested, but yeah, I thought it was a good idea at the time. A lot of shit happened, and he wasn't able to do that. I don't know if Austin's related to this person or not. I'm gonna guess probably not. But I wish you good luck. That sounds like an interesting project.
I think there's gonna be competition in that space too, for sure. I don't
Yeah.
know if it'll be competition, right? But like, there's gonna be more people doing that in the future. That's kind of seems like that's where things are going, at least. And by the way, like, I actually don't think it's terrible, because I've worked with a ton of people this year who they're trying to get into TCGs. And one of the big things for some of these people is, for them, $1 million might be like 1% of their net worth or less. So it's
Mm.
like, they don't want to store $1 million worth of product. So if they can just give money to a fund, they deal with it all. It's kind of like a REIT, right? I guess maybe that's a bad
Okay.
analogy, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. He says nope. So all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun to watch from the sidelines. I guess I'm in a position where that wouldn't really benefit me, but I could see some wealthy individuals who would dig that.
What do you think about this?
We need, hey, this is me from 2026 thoughts on the hobby videos and set them to upload in 2030.
Do some Mr. Beast type shit.
That's actually awesome. No, I love that. I'll do that. I'll make one of those. That's sweet. All right, that's easy content. I'm gonna write that down. That's brilliant content. Put that in my note. I got a notes page, which is content ideas.
I like that everyone does. I mean, at least not everyone, but I know Dan does like the predictions every year, and then he comes back to it. You could kind of do something like this, I feel, where it's like the
I've
next
done a
year or 2
prediction
years down.
video. I like this. Hey, it's me though. Like framing. I think that's fun.
Yeah,
Dan's are really
more
good.
personalized. This comment kind of just like illustrates the pain.
It was Dan. Yeah.
This
More
might be bait,
people
though.
need to know. More people need to know who Dan is.
There's a 50% chance that is bait.
Could be.
Let's see. Question: what are your thoughts on mid-era sets? Are there any indicators that you can see that'll likely cause them to move this year? Mid-era being more diamond, pearl, and black and white. Do you pay attention to that at all?
Honestly, no. I'm probably not a good source for that question. I mean, I feel like black and white, if it were going to make some big moves, it would have been when black and white, came out in the summer. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about any like diamond pearl sets. Totally out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'd say for me, like, I'm probably not the best source either. I don't really follow the vintage market super closely. I will say, though, I talked to someone today that I was working with. They follow vintage, and they're convinced that it's actually outperformed a lot of the modern stuff. It's just that like nobody really tracks it well. So it's like finding the nut. Like, you can't go to TCG Player and look up a diamond pearl base set booster box and see how well it's done. So I actually do think a lot of vintage has done well. Tomorrow, I mean, I'll shill my stuff again. before we get out of here. Tomorrow night on the One Piece channel, Straw Hat Speculator, I'm interviewing Blunts, who's like a big crypto guy. A lot of the big crypto players, they invest in vintage Pokemon. So modern One Piece, vintage Pokemon. I'm going to ask him about it because I know there are some very deep pockets going into that space. And I would be curious to hear like what they have to say about why. But yeah, I think it could potentially move even more than it has.
That's very fascinating. So these people you work with, are they like, do they make Rudy look like a little fly? Or I'm like just trying to think of the wealth level of these people. It's interesting to me.
Maybe I don't ask anyone what their net worth is, right? Like I don't want to be that intrusive. I've talked to a few people where I think like they're probably on the same level as Rudy in like different spaces. I think a lot of people too, they're probably like somewhere between 7 and low 8 figures as well.
Okay.
But yeah, like there's the money from crypto, man, is crazy. Like
yeah,
the scale is something I couldn't imagine. And I'm just starting to kind of like get a little taste of what that looks like in terms of investing in TCGs. So yeah, that's why like if they all go to vintage, it could probably keep going. It's possible.
It's a whole underground world. People think like I'm rich. Like I got like people are like, oh my god, like y'all have no idea. I don't even have an idea on how much of a small little fish I am in a pond. It's actually laughable. Like even in Nebraska, like I know people that sell more in a month than I do in a year, revenue wise. It's like y'all have no clue, and neither do I. Like I guess you have a clue, but
Not
dude,
really.
the money in this shit is so much bigger. Like 7-figure Pokemon card, like big shit, dude. 5 million in sales a year isn't anything compared to some of these people.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Even Rudy, like he's obviously the biggest on YouTube, but like, bro, I bet there's some people that would squash him.
I think you're right about that for sure.
It's just nuts.
Have you ever, because I feel like if there's someone on YouTube that could convince Rudy to come on a podcast, it might actually be you.
I think you're right.
Have you ever reached out to him and asked if he would be willing to do that?
So he actually loves my channel, which I am so flattered by. He and I know the same. We know somebody in a distro world, and my guy was like, "Yo, Rudy actually loves your channel." I'm like, "Bullshit." Anyway, I hit Rudy up, and he does, which is great because I've watched Rudy for years before I started a business. Um, he's helped me a lot, actually. Like, I have a question, Rudy answers it. Like, he's helped me tremendously. I was going to buy this $400,000 collection from a guy. I ran it by Rudy, and he gave me just paragraphs of information. Like, the dude's the most generous dude in the world with his time. Him and Deep Pocket Monster. I think if I asked, I probably could get something going. I just don't feel like audacious enough to do so. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have the audacity. Me of all people, I'm like, I don't, because like, what's that going to do for him? You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need anything from me.
Yeah. I feel like at the same time though, there's no harm in asking, right? Like I thought the same way you think just about inviting people on the podcast where it's like, I have, 13K subs or whatever. There's tons of people I want to talk to, but it's like coming on my show does nothing for them. So it's like, what is kind of the offer there, right? Like there has to be a trade. I think a lot of people, like you said, though, they're just really generous with their time. And if it's something that could benefit a ton of people, like, I don't know, it could happen. And I think you'd be the person to make it happen. Genuinely.
I appreciate that. I don't think you're wrong. I'm just like, I don't know. It doesn't feel, and I like honestly, it's so hypocritical of me to even talk like that because I've talked to so many people who are relatively new, and I'm like, just ask big YouTubers to be on your channel. Like most of them are chill with it. Like there's so many people with like 500,000, 2,000 subs. They're like, oh, I was gonna ask this guy, but I would have never thought he'd say yes. I'm like, bro, we're all chill as hell. But like, yeah, I have like what 64,000 subs. You have 13. Like we're the same. Rudy's on a different level. Like it almost just would feel like disrespectful being like, can you come to my channel? I don't know. It feels odd to me. I don't think I'd ever be like comfortable with that question with him.
Yeah.
I would need to provide enough value to make it worth it, and I don't think I could right now.
That's fair. I get that. 100%.
Like we both help each other out. Like me being here and you being like, we have equal value, I think. Me and Rudy don't.
I don't know about that, man. You're kind of hyping me up too much there, I feel, but I get where you're coming from, right?
We're the same. Like we're the same. It's like, okay, I got more subs, but like the viewership, we both have an equally loyal audience for sure. And like, I mean, it'd be like, I don't know. It just wouldn't feel right. I would need to like raise my value, and I don't know how I do that. Until then, I'm just happy he talks to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I was going to ask you too, because I mean, you got huge January, maybe it was January, February, March last year.
Yeah.
Like you went on a run. It was like from 20K to 50K basically overnight. You know?
Yeah.
And then you did the haircut live stream. And then after that, obviously things slowed down. When you were making those videos and you were growing super fast, was there any concern where you're like, fuck, okay, like I have a bunch of people coming in, maybe not in the Pokemon niche or the business niche or Pokemon investing niche or business niche where they're just maybe fans of Pokemon? Was there any pressure to change the content you were making at that point to kind of feed that new audience?
That's a really good question. I think if I was more strategic and intelligent, there would be pressure, but like I don't give a shit. And I think that's what's made me successful. Like if anything, I've made more reckless content that's polarizing since getting big. Like some of the subjects that I've talked about definitely lost me hundreds of subs for sure. And like I just don't give a shit. Cause like you're not gonna get rich making YouTube videos in this little niche. Like at peak, I was making $4,000 a month, and that's when I was going hard. Now I'm making like 2,200. It's like, okay, if I'm not gonna fake it for anybody. Like I can't. If I wanted to go like PokeRev level, I have the money where I probably could get there in like 2 to 5 years. But like, I don't know. I feel no pressure to make any sort of content at all.
Yeah.
And I think the second you do, like you're gonna burn yourself out.
I think it's kind of to the discussion we had like before we went on. Because I gave you props. I was like, you're probably the only person I know, like outside of myself, will actually engage with people in their comments, especially if they say crazy shit. I think too, for you, it's kind of just like you don't want to please anyone. You just want to make the content that you're willing to make, right?
Yeah, I think that would be the definition of being rich. Going back to the rich thing, when you don't need to do anything to get where you want to be. Like there's not a damn thing I need to do or prove or chat or make a video on. Like I can do whatever the hell I want. That's rich. Whether I got 1 million, 2 million, or 10 million in the bank account, I'm rich because I can just make whatever content. I could start an ASMR channel on my Pokemon channel and it wouldn't matter. That's goals. Like I made it in that sense. It's so fun. YouTube's so fun. People take it too seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I get it too, because like, you know, I do it full time. So like I don't rely on the YouTube ad revenue, but it's nice for sure.
Yeah.
And like if someone's trying to make this full time, it helps out a ton in the beginning. Once you get like brand deals and like if you make your own offer too, like that's going to be the way you actually build out a business and just use YouTube as top of funnel. But some people are just they're so reliant on ad revenue and they don't want to rock the boat. And I feel like that just waters down your content and you don't actually get like the most organic, like natural type of emotions out of things.
Yeah, I mean, you freaking nailed that. Like you nailed it, man. And like all what you're doing is so impressive because I watch a lot of clothing brand YouTubers. I don't really give a shit about fashion. I like Nike. That's about all I wear. But I'm always so impressed when they hit like 6 or 7 figures of revenue because like they're doing it with something that no one inherently gives a shit about. Like me, like I make money selling Pokemon cards. Yeah, there's skills involved slightly, but like I don't got to push the product. Pokemon put billions in advertising. Their shit sells itself. Then you got people like you who's selling like consultation knowledge, which like you have to really cultivate an audience for that. Like you have to really show the value. I don't have to show value. I'm just like, hey, here's prismatic evolutions. It has value already. I'm just buying it for cheaper than you are. Like any moron can flip Pokemon cards right now. I'm impressed with like you and some other folks that are like turning it into a different sort of business, like Pokemon adjacent, but it's all you. It's very impressive. Like honestly, I'm jealous of that aspect. And it'll outlaw. I mean, if Pokemon the market takes a shit, like I guess Pokemon consulting would also take a shit, but the skills learned, you could adapt that into anything.
Yeah. Like that's kind of how I'm looking at it too.
I can't just start like flipping Barbies when Pokemon goes to shit, you know?
Maybe One Piece though. OPNE.
It's possible. I'll credit you with the idea. But no, for real, like all the flowers in the world, dude. Like the consulting shit full time is crazy.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I do appreciate that. I think you know what, let's just take one more question. I was gonna say let's get out of here, but Jolly's the GOAT. We're gonna take his question. What's 3 things that Grayson and PokeNE know now that they wish they knew back then when they were first starting? It's a great question to end on.
That was a really solid outro question. Who wants to go first?
I'm trying to think of my answers too. So, I mean, we can just sit here in silence till we come up with good ones. That's one thing too. Side tangent again. Bro, it bugs me when people, and this is why like I would be so bad at, you know, some forms of entertainment just because I can't fake shit. It drives me insane when people act like they know everything. It's like, dude, you are going to fuck up so much. Like if you get asked a question like this, there's no way that you just instantly stop reading it and go into your answer and not even like process what's going on and think about things. You like, if you watch, and I know a lot of people don't like him, when Jordan Peterson's asked like a hard question, that dude will sit there for like a minute and think of a fucking answer. Yep. And it's like, if you were genuinely trying to answer something, right, and like give people the respect that they deserve when they ask you something, you would actually take some time to think about your answer. So I don't know. That's a really tangent aside, rant over, but
that's a really good point. I mean, we did that with the Diamond Pearl question. It's like, oh, that's not really in our wheelhouse necessarily. Here's some little tidbits, but like getting a YouTuber that says they don't really know, that's extremely valuable. 3 things. So I'm going to Jordan Peterson this real quick.
I can think of one thing. Maybe I won't be able to think of 3, but the one thing I wish I knew when I started out, I guess, investing in Pokemon is, and just like business in general, you need to network and make connections. I think Rob Burns, that's a throwback too, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Rob, I really liked Rob. And I think he said one time, like, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. And it's so true, man. Like you could start a channel, you could start a business, you could probably get it up to 5-10K a month very easily. But to get to the level of like a Deep Pocket Monster or a PokeNE or a Rudy or probably a non-TCG, like any of these guys, like you have to have connections and know people and really not go into relationships just trying to be like, okay, what can this person provide me to make me more money or get me to where I want to go? Like it has to be symbiotic. So that's like the one thing I wish I knew and I wish I did earlier was networking with people and just trying to reach every single person I could.
I love that. Fire answer. Lumping me in with Rudy and Deep Pocket Monster was a nice touch.
You're up there, man. And you know, I know you don't want to admit it, but in this space, like who else is there, right? I'm sure there's some people I'm missing.
There's a handful of us, I guess. Give me like 2 years, I'll feel more comfortable with that. But I 100% agree. I guess I'll throw one thing in there too, because it's the first thing I thought of was like 3 things that new now. I wish I would have known that like I could get to a successful level without going 2,000,000% in the paint. Like I think my growth, I don't think there was any way to grow as fast and successfully as I did comma, I think I would have been A-okay growing slower. Because like my first year, my God, like I'm a little dude. Like I'm 5'10", I weigh $155. My first year, I lost 50 because I didn't have time to eat or lift. And so I was like this pseudo anorexic, no muscle. I didn't bathe. I didn't talk to nobody. Like I swear to God, I almost went through a freaking divorce, I feel like. And it was all because I was working like, and so like if I could go back, I'd be like, hey, do everything you're doing, but like chill. Talk to your friends, go to your family events, eat, lift. I probably lost a couple years of my life just eating and lifting horribly. That'd be the most important thing. Like you won't grow as fast as I did without going as unhealthy as I did, but you can absolutely grow fast and successful taking it easy. So don't ruin your life over this shit.
Yeah, it's a really good one too, man. I mean, that's something we didn't bring up, but I think I remember you mentioning, correct me if I'm wrong about this. There was like a time where you were having like a bipolar spurt, and
Oh yeah.
Andrea, your wife's Andrea, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
you
butchering.
nailed it.
When she was, I think, fulfilling the orders and stuff because you just you couldn't do it. Like, dude, maybe that's number 3 is like when I started out investing just in general in life, like I was single, I wasn't even thinking about finding a wife. Dude, like everyone I know who's like really successful, they have very healthy relationships. And the people that you have around you, and maybe this is like too tangential to just networking, but I think the people you have in your circle that you interact with like every day, those are going to be the people that ultimately decide like where you go in life. So
That's a really good one.
if you have good people around you that care about you, like you're already ahead of 95% of people, I feel.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's 100% true. I would not be talking to you right now if it wasn't for my wife. Like Andrew is the reason this business succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone calls her a gold digger because they think that she got with me after I was rich.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro,
that's fucking crazy.
I'm like, bro, you should have seen what I had to offer as a husband when she started dating me. Like, my God. It's yeah, you're right. It's the people in your I mean, my dad helped me build this business, my brother, my mom, Andrew, like my friend. I mean, I had one of my like a couple of my best friends would be down there packing Shiny Treasure EX when I couldn't handle it myself. Like you nailed it, man. 100%.
I think we'll end on that. That's fire. Unless you have
That's a
anything else you
good
want to say.
No, that's a good way to end it. I mean, you're not gonna get better sauce than that, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. There you guys go. Again, anyone watching still, there's 110 of you in here. Go check out Brian's shit. Link in the description, top of it. pokene.com. The YouTube's there as well. And dude, this was fun. We're gonna have to do this again sometime.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I want to add one more to the end of that question. If you get to the point where you're making shitloads of money, look up Nexus thresholds tax. That's the final one. That's the sauce. Nexus threshold tax. Go get it. Buy my stuff.
Alrighty. All right, guys. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. We're done.